before we get into streaming, there's like just a quick admin item that Craig sort of touched on it. So what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks? So Catherine and I are going to Japan for vacation for several weeks. So this upcoming Wednesday, basically the next 3 Wednesdays, I will not be in the United States. So we will come back. Let's see. Let me look at the calendar so that we can actually get an accurate count.
Play while you're in Japan?
Yeah, so you guys are going to have to play by yourselves while I'm in Japan, and then just let me know what's going on the inside. No one's going to DM. It's just going to be a free-for-all. You guys talk about what you're going to do.
That is not going to work with this.
All right, it was a joke. Lord, it was a joke. Okay, so September, September 26th is going to be the next Sunless. Now, today you may leave the Citadel, you may not, depending on what you want to do, depending on sort of how it all goes, depending on how much carnage you want to rain down on whatever you encounter. That's fine. Well, I'm going to take the time to start putting together next steps in the campaign. Some of you have already expressed to me that you want to make some minor changes to like your character, or whether it's a class or whether it's physical feature or something along those lines. That I'm totally fine with that. So that anyone who hasn't said that, feel free to think about that as an option. To give you a quick preview of what is to come and what I am going to want you all to think about over the next couple of weeks is when you get back to town, if you so desire to go back to town and turn in your quest rewards, you will be given an additional quest by the mayor of that town. That additional quest is going to offer you the opportunity to take a boat somewhere. Well, I mean, I know where. I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but I'm just trying to give you like a background of what you are to expect in sort of the longer run.
Boat to Dark Isle.
Yeah, to the Dark Isle, and then I'm just going to be trailing Craig's narrative through the Dark Isle. That's actually my idea. That's my idea for my own homebrew. It's actually it's actually my original idea for my own homebrew is Craig's idea for his own homebrew. So what's going to happen is it's going to take a few weeks, approximately 1 month, for the boat to reach the harbor of the town, meaning that you will have approximately 1 month to do something fun, to write like a fun or interesting subplot of what your character does over the month. You can talk, and we can certainly talk about this more in our RP channel or over Discord generally, over text over the next several weeks. That's fine with me. I will certainly be available for that. But come up with a fun, if you want to change a class, if you want to change your appearance, if you want to learn a skill, if you want to go hunting, whatever you want to do, come up with like a cool little story of what your character did over that month. And I will work with you on that, and we can talk about what skills you gained, if you gained any proficiencies. There might be some roles involved, things of that nature. And then when we come back, when we get to that point in the story, I will have you read your little blurb of what you did over that time frame, and then we can move forward. It's okay if you don't get out of the Citadel today, we can play through the rest of that, but I just want you to have your roughly 1 month of activity prepared for when we do hit that spot, so we don't have to just like end the episode there when we get there eventually in the story. Does everyone understand that?
Yep.
Okay, great.
You start from the beginning again.
No. No.
Yes, but I miss all of that.
Sorry. If you don't talk to one of your friends, if you don't get it, and maybe the other admin item I have for this evening is it's just a note for me to not delete the map again. So if you all can just make sure that I don't do that, that'd be great.
I missed the entirety of that first thing. You sure you can't say it again?
I'm positive. You're going to have to talk to Bungo or someone who'll fill you in later. I'm not repeating this.
I'm just going to wait till you come back.
No, I totally didn't miss
it. Okay, great. So I think that being said, that was my only, that was it. And I think it is Ulfgar's turn to, we can go to stream now. We're already on stream. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, all right. So
We've been on the stream
Ulfgar,
the whole time.
that's fine. Ulfgar, I think it is your turn to give us the summary of when we last left our heroes, the Batman, off. What happened on the last episode?
Okay, I was trying to read an upside down message.
That's okay.
So we started out in this little cavern. This is by. We walked down your mom. We
Bye to your mom. Got it.
We found a Moses tree that decided to pimp slap Bungo in the face, and he went down, which is the red cross on the map. And then we went down to a cavern and found the two people we were looking for and a big boss tree guy. And it took us a while, but we managed to end up beating him, and then we went back into this little storage room, and we did not level up because our DM's not a friend of ours.
Holy. Okay.
Best summation ever.
He gets to do all of them from now on.
Okay, so and then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, as we ended, Sizzler, you wanted to do an action, right? You wanted to pull the
It was
Machine
fiddle in
gun.
the
the
bag.
machine creature out of your bag of holding, and so that's sort of where we left off. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where we're going to start this week. So, Lena, you're in the room as well. And Sizzler, like I said, he reaches into his bag and he pulls out from his bag the mechanical creature that your wild shape spell made appear, I don't know, it's 2 sessions ago.
I forgot. What did I give him?
Gems.
So, you gave him, was it
Yeah.
2?
The
The
two
onyx.
onyxes.
Two
Two
onyx
onyx
gems,
gems.
yes.
The
Two
dang gems I
onyx
want.
gems, yes. So he appears out of Sizzler's bag in front of Sizzler. His hand is still clasped around 2 onyx gems.
Can I shove him into the lower right corner of the room and stand in front of him and give
Jeez.
Blur death glares?
Shove
Starting off
who?
strong.
The little mechanical dude.
You want to shove him on the ground or?
No, in the corner, just like a protective thing,
sure.
not like
Oh, I
I'm
thought you
gonna
were trying to
bully
kill
you.
him.
Yeah, sure. I couldn't. All right, so you're trying to
No.
get in between him and Sizzler.
Yeah.
Okay,
How long did that guy last? Was it like an hour, a day?
it was a minute.
So he's not.
So, Lena, you go to get in between Sizzler and like to shove the creature back slightly away from Sizzler.
Can I
Sizzler,
try to get the gem?
Sizzler, are you? Oh, is everyone going to just try to like tackle this thing?
Yeah.
Sizzler, is there anything as you see Lena like quickly trying to move between the two? Is there anything that you're going to do?
Just gonna take out my sketchbook and of my invention ideas and just start rudimentary schematics of what he looks like and how I could possibly replicate him.
Okay, so Lena, you get to go in between. Sizzler, or sorry, Pinrap.
Wait. He's not there. He's physically not there. He's been
What?
gone. Or unless we're rewinding.
No, we're not rewinding. He hasn't disappeared yet. He's only been
Yes.
on what?
So what? There's no time in the bag? Like he just.
Well, it isn't. It
Once he
is an
goes-
extra. Yeah, it's an extra dimensional. I mean, that's how we're gonna. That's how I see it.
Magic.
It's an extra dimensional portal, basically. So he gets put into a different realm altogether.
So
And-
time for him stops? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? You get put in the bag, you stop aging. Nothing happens.
That'd be pretty
I
cool.
don't think that's accurate because you can if you are a creature that breathes, you can only stay in the bag
Dog.
for 10
Dog.
minutes and you die.
Dog.
It doesn't
For dramatic
breathe though.
purpose.
It's
Squirrel
a
for dramatic purpose.
and
That's
also it's a mechanical creature. It's not like it doesn't. I would imagine it doesn't need air. It's just a mech. and
It
doesn't-
totally doesn't need air. I'm just
Right.
saying that time exists within the bag.
Okay, but it's
just
a
a
different
dramatic effect.
dimension. It's a different dimension.
Sure.
So if
Okay.
if the prompt is that he exists on the dimension that he is brought into for a minute, right? And you take him out of that dimension within the period of that minute, then does that minute still apply? Does it not apply? That's well within my area of discretion. And I'm saying that it applies to this dimension that he was poofed into. So that being said, you pull him out of the bag. Lena gets in between the two of you. Pinrap, you said you're going to try to grab the gems out of his hand?
Yes.
Okay, you need to make a deck save. Lena, you make a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. That's even worse. Lena, make a deck save too.
So wait, you want me to make a sleight of hand check still?
No, it's fine. Do you have proficiency with sleight of hand?
I have one in both.
Okay, so it's the same. All right. So Lena, you also make a deck save. Okay, so yeah, Lena in Lena pushing him back. I mean, Pinrap, you just don't even have the opportunity to reach. You like try to reach, but Lena passing through, you can't even get to this thing. So
Did I see that he tried?
yeah, you definitely see him try. He lurches forward, and as you push past to get in between Sizzler, you put yourself basically in between everyone and this thing against the wall. And so Pinrap's hand is just brushed aside easily by you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna like gesture to whatever symbol Pinrap has for his paladin thing. I'm gonna like point at it and be like, "What are you doing?"
Taking the jewels that I want, because I want the jewels.
No, you're not.
So as that conversation is happening, the creature puts its hands together with the 2 onyx gems in between its hands, and in a poof, it is gone.
Well, you gotta stop me from doing things I want to do.
I shriek in dismay. No! No!
Everyone roll a perception for me.
Does it have to be higher than the 16?
No, the highest perception gets it.
Ooh,
Well,
Oh shoot, I haven't switched this.
me and him are tied then.
Okay,
I mean, that's just my rest.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if no one beat a 16, it would have been you. So Bungo and Pinrap, you notice 2 onyx gems on the ground behind Lena where the creature stood a second ago.
I want to quickly run and
Oh,
get them.
come on!
I will go for
Let me
one.
take them.
Pinrap goes for one.
Okay, I'll go for one.
Okay, so you have to make it past Lena. So you can either make a deck save, or you can
Acrobatics.
Bungo, you can do an acrobatics, an acrobatics, a deck save, or a sleight of hand, unless you want to do some strength-based thing to shove her. But if you just want to like move past her swiftly, any dex-based thing, it will work.
So I have a racial ability that I can move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than me.
Pick them both up if I don't make it.
So I can move through Lena without any problem.
Sure, it's not as much moving through Lena that you're rolling for. It's like you have to like reach down and scoop these 2 things up like before she notices. It's a low DC.
I'm just saying that I'm right next to the ground. I know that doesn't really apply to your laws of whatever.
All right,
Well,
just
gravity
roll.
pulls up.
Stop arguing with me on every single roll, and just roll any dex-based thing.
It's a
Your
racial ability. Let it happen.
Your DC is much lower than Pinrap's, who's much larger and less.
Just get them both.
Yeah, so there you go. See how hard that was, Bungo. So
you can just let it happen. It's a racial thing.
Bungo gets one of the onyx gems in his hand. Lena, roll any dex-based thing, and we'll see if you can beat Pinrap to getting the second one.
It looks like she's just gonna always dex me.
So Pinrap gets one, and Bungo gets one before Lena notices. Lena, the 2 of them just sort of push past you, and then they both have one onyx gem each in each of their hands. So one has one has the other.
What are you guys doing?
I'm putting this back into the team loot where it should belong instead of for everyone's individual plaything.
I mean, I've always wanted this thing, so I'm putting it in my own bag. It's mine now.
They're
It's all I could do-
dangerous.
It's all I could do to get this one from the likes of you, Sizzler, and Pinrap. They're meant for the group. They should be sold
Yeah. No, we should put them in the dragon
and
statue.
divided.
Okay, she's like pleased with Bungo's answer, but she's like very angry with Pinrap. But she's not going to do anything right now.
Okay. All right. So
That
you
fish
all.
gotta sleep.
Okay. So you all have the. You've all have the benefits of a long rest. If there's something that you want to do during the long rest period, let me know, and we can work that out individually. But otherwise, you all take a long rest and get the benefits of a long rest.
Can I put back together my wheelbarrow?
Did you bring the pieces with you?
Well, if I'm doing a long rest, yes, I'll go back and get the pieces.
I want to tell Bungo to make a Bungo figurine for our new friend.
Will happen.
I don't. Let's see. What did you, Ulfgar? What did you smash? Do you remember? I can't remember exactly
I
what you did.
smashed
to the wheelbarrow.
everything on his wheelbarrow.
Okay, so no. Then the answer's no.
I rolled a 20 with my axe and like an 8 with my combat roll.
If it was just the wheel, then I would say yes because he had an extra wheel. But if you smashed everything, then I think the answer is no.
And I will.
There's another one in that room you found it in.
Yeah, you can grab. Yeah, there was definitely another one in that room.
You just gotta go get your
I
wheel.
took it apart. I took the wheel apart and other support structure so I could make a trike later. It was in the wheelbarrow you busted.
Oh. Well,
Ulfgar's blinded by his rage and just smashed everything in his path.
he's the one that brought it next to me. I told him that anything that moved was getting hit.
Yeah, I forgot.
Didn't say
I
anything.
forgot. No, he actually did.
I
He
did. I
actually
said
did. He said, anything that comes within my range I'm hitting. That's how it happened, actually. Now that I think about it.
That was the action he readied, but his
Right.
character never told us that.
Yeah, his
Right,
character never.
sure. Okay, true. That's also fair. That was the action that he readied, and I even gave him the thing. I'm like, "Are you sure?" So if an enemy comes close, he said, "No." If anything comes close.
that's why Pinrap like moved away.
Fine,
Okay.
I will make a figurine for Sizzler in my downtime.
Okay. A folk hero, Bungo.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a perfect replication of you, Bungo, but in miniature.
We can compare with each other because I got a pretty good one too.
Okay, anyone else doing anything during their downtime?
Two things. Am I able to use any of this long rest to put together the materials for that healer's kit?
What did we say? I thought we said that you had to use. You would have to do a short rest and 4 hours or something like that, or what was that?
Isn't a long rest 8 hours?
Yeah, I thought we had talked about that before, though. What was the? It was something that you needed to work to do it.
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I think it was you have to work towards it, and like you have to get the long rest stuff. You need to actually sleep for a bunch of those hours.
Yeah, I
so-
think it's what we said last time.
Like the
so
short
if you
rest,
want,
you
yeah,
don't need
if
to
you
sleep
want
for.
to, yeah, if you want to take a short rest instead, Sizzler, then yeah, you can have it.
The short rest work.
So you use your hit die. You use your hit die to regain health points, as many hit die as you want, as long as you have them. But you don't get back any of the abilities that you get back on a long rest. You only get back abilities. That
So
you
explain to me how hit die work.
Sure. So you have. I'm trying to pull your character sheet up. So you have a certain amount of hit die. I think it's as many as your level. You have
I have
three.
three.
Right. So you roll 3, and what is the number? Your are the individual for each person, or is it your con?
It's based on a class plus your con modifier.
Sure. So it's based on your. I mean, exactly what Ivaris just
So it's going to be 1d8 plus your con mod. So if you click your hit dice, it should already have that baked in. Since you're kind of a weird class, I don't know if it's going to be the right die or not. But
Yeah, true.
I don't know how you built the.
Okay. So is it we have a finite amount of hit dice, and we only get one additional one per time we level up? Is that how it works?
No,
yes,
you
but
restore
okay.
half of your total hit dice on a long rest.
And you also gain one when you level up, so that's also partially correct, John. But yeah, you restore them on a long rest though too.
Or half of them on a long rest.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that seems worth it then. So I'll use a hit die. So I just hit this.
Yep.
Okay.
See,
And then
So you can use however many of those you want in a short rest.
Correct. You could use all three if you wanted to.
Yeah, when we do a long rest and I restore half, is that rounded up or down?
We can round it up. That's fine with me.
So I'll use the time, do a short rest, and then the other time I'll use to craft the healer's kit, and also audibly weeping the entire time, drawing as best I can the creature, the divine creature that just disappeared from existence.
Okay.
He literally got his cries from a crocodile, though, so
Horizon
it's like actually crocodile tears.
so correct me if I'm wrong, John, but your constitution is actually based on a D8 die. D6 is for a wizard. You're a different class.
Well, there's like wizards and sorcerers are both D6s, and alchemist is, I think, is pretty close to those.
It is a
You'd have to look
D8,
it
but
up.
I don't know where I'm supposed to edit that.
Just roll
Yeah.
roll 1d4. Roll 1d4, and you can just add whatever else to your health.
Oh.
There you go. Add 3 more.
Anyway, that'll put me at full.
Problem solved.
So if you go to the gear icon to the right of core, bio, and spells, at the top left, your hit die is in there, and you can change that to a D8.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that way you don't have to worry about it in the future. Yeah, it's because Artificer's not like in the class registry of
Right.
this, so it just gave you something random.
I had some of those unfinished arrow shafts. I wanted to use my carving tools and see if I could finish fletching some arrows.
Yeah, that's fine, Ivaris, because you don't sleep the whole time anyway, right? So
Yeah, just 4 hours.
Sure. So how many did you have?
You didn't give me like a specific number. You just told me I have some unfinished arrow shafts.
How many arrows do you have, or do you have?
The most I have had at one point has been 40.
Okay.
I have 24 now.
Okay, so roll. We'll say like 1d12, and then you'll get that many.
Oh, take it.
I mean, that's a rough roll, but sure, you get 4. And you didn't use all the pieces that you picked up, so you still have a couple pieces left over.
Cool.
All right, anyone else?
I just like sleeping, so I'll
Okay.
sleep.
All right, so everyone else, you can go back to full health and reset anything that you reset on a long rest. And so when you wake, you're still in the same place. Everything is the same. You sort of you start to wake up, and you look at one another, Ivaris, and maybe Sizzler, depending on which half Sizzler decided to sleep, are sort of working away on their own items. Sizzler's like visibly weeping, but it sounds like weird because it's coming out of him, and it's like not his weeping. It's like a child's weeping, or a literal crocodile's weeping, something goofy like that. But you all wake up in your own time, and what would you like to do now?
I wonder what would happen if I put 1 Onyx gem in that dragon statue.
I think Lena would murk the fuck out of you.
That's probably about right.
But I really want to see what happens.
So yeah, you have where you came. The garden is to your south, but you just came from that area, and you pretty much cleaned it out from what you can tell. So you can head back the way you came, or try to explore more of the garden, which you left a piece of it unexplored.
Did we?
We may want to check on that and see if there's a way up.
I will be the stupid fish boy and follow anyone's lead. Because I don't want to have to walk through the fire back there. That's raging in the library.
We'll say just so that you don't spend an inordinate amount of time doing something like that. We'll say that you revealed enough of the garden to realize that there wasn't it didn't seem like there was an exit.
Okay.
You mean we could have mined into this instead of having to walk around a long way this whole time?
Yeah. Only you had your mining picks and carts available.
Yeah.
Is Kiki still alive and around?
Kiki.
You don't know. You haven't seen Kiki in
Last time we
is
seen her is
Kiki?
at the blue face.
what you would imagine to be like a day or two.
But in reality, it's been weeks.
Somewhere between several days and several weeks. You're not sure. You're in an underground sort of citadel. You're not really sure. Days
We're no longer in the underground. We're in the underground's underground.
hours
we've gone
become
down at least.
hours become days. Days become weeks. Just you don't even know how long it's been. It feels like it's been ages since you've seen Kiki's face.
Okay.
So I'm good to go back the way we came.
Yep. I guess.
Back to the pit.
I mean, did
Okay.
we
I'm just
fully
following everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we fully explored that area.
How did you do that?
I don't know. That was wild. So,
was so
as
cool.
as you start walking into the hallway, someone who's first out the door.
Me.
Pinrap, apparently.
Okay, so Pinrap, roll me a perception.
He's good.
Great. My eyeballs are always closed. Hey, not today.
Okay, great. So at the end of the hallway, like all the way down the hallway, basically,
Yes.
you see a figure that is small in stature. He seems to be like lumbering slowly. His back is to you, though.
I'm gonna scream to Bungo and say, "I think I found Kiki." So I think I found Kiki.
So as you yell to Bungo, the figure jumps a little bit and and slowly turns his head around, or turns its head around to look over its shoulder.
Kiki, you cool, bro?
The figure turns even more, and you see that it is a kobold.
Oh no, I know what this is.
Yeah, no, I just got it too.
Hey, what's up? I'll chat in pigeon, kobold.
The kobold's holding a broom and sweeping. It seems like there's like a pile of sort of dust in the corner, and it seems like it was sweeping the hallway. And it has chains on its arms and another set of manacles on its legs as well.
You're not Kiki.
And he says,
Tomorrow.
Who is Kiki?
He's our... Well, doesn't really matter. Long story.
Does Kiki love us?
No, I mean, Kiki's...
Golly, please don't.
He turns to you. He addresses you, Ivaris, since you attempted to address him in kobold, and he says, "That's not necessary, young man. I've been around long enough to learn common."
Oh, well, most of your brethren upstairs hadn't, so my apologies for assuming.
I appreciate your efforts.
How'd you get by the goblins?
And the fire.
I've been here for many a day, sweeping this hallway day after day.
This particular hallway? Because we didn't
This
see
single hallway.
That doesn't. We were down this hallway a bunch. We weren't here.
Well, It looks like you're old enough to know that people sleep sometimes, so...
Can I get you out of these manacles?
That would be much appreciated, but I'm pretty sure my master wouldn't like it very much.
Who's that?
Bellic.
I
Have you
don't
met
think
him yet?
you really got to worry about that so much.
Why do you say that?
We paid him
he's
off.
super dead.
He's dead.
Super dead.
Super dead. Well,
He's a whole level over dead.
so you'd be willing to set me free then? What's your name, young man? He like holds his hands out to you to attempt to
Oh yeah, I forgot I had that.
remove his manacles.
Yeah, I'm Ivaris, and I'll give him a little handshake before I Let me see what I got in my bag. Didn't I give someone a crowbar?
I have a crowbar.
He shakes your hand like with his non-broom welded like wielding hand, and like continues to hold up his hands to like undo his manacles.
Bungo, can you pass me that crowbar?
Sure.
Thanks.
Though, manacle keys are all the same, and I happen to have a set of manacles. So if you'd like a manacle key, that would work.
Are they?
It's like police officer.
I'll pull out my manacle keys and try it on the lock.
Okay, it works. The lock clicks, and the manacles fall off his hands. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Do you
thanks,
mind?
Bungo. I didn't know that. I'll get his legs too.
You might, yeah. Okay, so he like he's slowly, he's like using he's turned his broom upside down. He's using it as a bit of a cane now, and he like steps out of the manacles on his legs. Oh, the sweet release.
What do you mean? Sweet release? Huh?
He chuckles. You're a witty one.
Yes, that's true. People have said that.
Let me guess, some kind of folk hero.
I am the one and the only Bungo Mafungo at your service, and I'd give a little bow and arm wave thing.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Meepo.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes, it is, fat boy.
I have your head. No, it's not.
Excuse me?
No, you
Your
don't.
head is still in my bag.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
You have my head?
It was.
It's kind of like, got your nose. It's a thing, dwarves, Got your head.
Haven't had much interaction with dwarves.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah,
Oh no, we put it back and buried him, huh? Rip.
What?
They're fat too.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The
weird
dwarf
thing.
dwarven
Got
man.
your head.
Can you explain?
Buried their head.
Can you explain further what you mean?
They're all playing. I'm explaining it to you now.
He starts smacking the broom against the ground, like that's making a loud clacking sound. That's reverberating down the hallway each time he does it, as Bungo like keeps talking, and he just says like dwarf after like Bungo quiets down for a second. He says, "Dwarf man, can you explain what you mean, please?"
Well, as we entered here, me and the fish man decided we were gonna chop off the head of a kobold while it was sleeping. And later
Boy,
on,
now that you put it like that, it sure sounds like fucking murder.
I'm sorry.
It was not murder. It was self-defense.
Was this kobold's name Meepo by chance? Was he guarding a dragon?
No.
I don't know. He was asleep on a bed.
Yeah, he was, if anything, guarding a strange ghost.
A strange goat. What was his name? Meepo, though, I think is the important question here.
I don't know. We never really learned.
Yeah, he didn't really get a chance to talk.
The lesser kobold. We did meet the kobold leader, and they were quite nice. They actually sent us down here.
He had a beautiful neck bone, though.
Wonderful. I mean, I would love if you wouldn't mind escorting me back up to my people. I would love to see my son, Meepo Jr.
Oh
That
boy.
would be, I'm sure that would be a great thing.
Pinrap.
Oh, it wasn't me. I mean, you had the thing you did.
It was you.
That
Yeah,
would
but
be
they
great.
don't know.
I can't wait to tell the queen what a great service you've done for me.
Yes, indeed.
And I can't wait to see my son again. It's been so long.
I bet you can. That'd be nice.
All
I
right,
think you should
so
wait.
you have a new kobold old man companion, Meepo Senior, and you can sort of set off as you see fit.
Yeah, I'll hand him some trail rations as we go.
Oh, thank you, Ivaris. You're so kind. And he starts like munching on them.
I wish we had a wheelbarrow to help him along.
Oh, you could carry him on his back. I
So
think
do
that
I.
they're smaller than.
Oh, that's true. Would you like a lift? I could carry him like, a
Kiki.
Yoda.
I appreciate your offer, but I'm still spry enough to walk on my own. Thank you very much. And
Is
he's,
this
like,
the chamber
hobbling
that
along.
she froze over?
You
The
have
stairs,
to go.
it goes under.
Yeah, you go under the stairs, and then you go. Oh, look, a giant room on fire. Great.
Oh, look, it's impossible.
Hey, Lena. Lena.
Well, we'll say okay. So, she lit books and things on fire, and so you've taken a long rest. That's like 8 hours. You had this long battle that was however long else, and so at this point, it's just ashes. The entire room is like just ashes everywhere. Like there's bookshelves that are like charred. The books are ashes, just ash all over the floor. Like as you slog through, you have to push a path through ash. Bungo, as you pass through the room, I'm gonna need you to make a con check, though.
I need you to make a finger check.
It was as the shortest of the party, you're still susceptible to the toxic air that's coming off. Sorry.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Is
yeah, of
everything
course.
destroyed?
Yeah, there's nothing left. I mean, it's just
Okay.
ash.
I wanna ask
So
Bungo if he wants to
So
put
there's no need to light the room on fire again, Lena. It's just ash.
And she's like, did it burn all?
Okay, so yep, you come back into the room. I mean, I can, if you want any like specific descriptions of rooms that you've already passed through, like more in depth, I'm happy to give them to you. But you're passing, just sort of generally, you're passing through the room with the giant dragon statue again. It's the room where I believe you killed the shadow creature, and there was some shaking when you did certain things.
She's
to the giant.
keeping a very, very close eye on Pinrap.
I want to nudge at Bungo, but do a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, nudge.
Yeah,
nudge.
and I go right past it.
All right. Okay, so now you're moving into the room of fire and ice, which is still there's just, so as you go through, there's just these huge like crystalline large structures that have like frozen flame inside of them. It looks super dope.
Nice.
All right, so you keep passing through.
There's a piggy.
You still have the hobbling Bungo, or not Bungo, sorry, hobbling Meepo Senior trailing you. Okay, so you're passing through this is a pig room. Yeah.
This is where we had that insane dance party on the acid.
We do what now?
The more I say it wrong, John or Sizzler threw acid at our feet, remember?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
So is this
where
where
I
I'll bring
gave the bugbear
And
a hug.
while we're walking through, I'm just calling out for Kiki. Kiki!
Do you love me?
Good lord.
Yes. Is this room still on fire?
No, it's similar to the last room. There's no fire
so-
anymore. It's been more than enough time, but there's just ash everywhere, basically.
So Bungo's gonna have to make another con.
Yeah, another con save, just Bungo, though.
Wow, you guys are hilarious. I have not heard any joke like that.
All of
I don't see the rolls.
Yeah, where are they?
Do you like my
Look
spooky
down
drawing?
at your stomach if you're looking for rolls.
Are all the potions and stuff burned?
Yeah,
On
there's
this-
there's nothing salvageable from this
Okay.
room that was
On
totally
the stream, this
lit on
picture looks
fire.
amazing.
Speaking of potions, did she grow in the tree like warts yet?
That is for her to discuss. You can roll an investigation if you would like to investigate Lena.
I will
Wait,
investigate.
aren't we
Lena.
supposed to go this way? Is this the way back or no?
No,
it's not the
this
way back.
room is the one with pit.
Goblin in here.
No, that's the one right above it. At the pit. This
Well,
one was.
I mean, the
this...
pit is contiguous with this room and the one above it. Because pit.
This one right here, it was where they were farming some crap, and then we had a fire. We walked into this room to have a long rest, did we not? Because we didn't want to have a long rest here where there was some rats.
Yeah, this is not the room with the pit. The room with the pit is the one next to the word spooky, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great drawing, by the way.
I don't have that revealed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, neither do we.
Yeah, it's not. So are you going to move into that room?
Sure.
After my investigation.
Enemies in it.
Okay, as you
Is Kiki here, or is that just a vestige of?
no, that's just I can't delete that. That's Kiki's not here.
Oh, I'm the
It's
blind
not a map.
dwarf.
This is a former map that has things.
My
all over it.
Kiki's in another castle.
Okay, so everyone roll a perception for me. Or Bungo, if you get closer to where Ulfgar and Pinrap are, you don't have to roll your perception. If you stay back there, you do. Okay. All right. So Lena, Pinrap, and Bungo, you hear before you sort of move into this next space, you hear some rustling and some squeaking.
Rats.
And as you move into the next, what?
Sorry, I heard that because I rolled a 20.
Yes.
So I'm gonna share that real quick with everyone else. I hear some squeaking, and I think it's some rats, specifically towards Ulfgar.
Sure. And then as you do that, you see two rats like dart toward Ulfgar. I'm gonna need everyone to roll
Man,
initiative.
just let me crack their skulls and get on with it.
Ooh, the initiative.
God, we have a lot of people.
All right. So let's
All
see.
right, let the rats be less than 10.
30.
I wouldn't doubt it. Except for these stupid rats actually hurt for some reason.
It's because you're so fat that I just want to get like up in that belly.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oof, crushers.
We're the highest rolls.
Slower than me though.
All right.
Ooh, that thing's gotta.
All right. So, wow. Okay, these are some great rolls. All right. Let's see. Pinrap, Ivaris, Lena, Sizzler. All right. So the first thing that you see is you see the two rats start to dart toward you, Ulfgar, and then you don't even see this happening. But hold on, can I select these things? Oh, sweet, I can. Perfect. You don't even see this happening, but out of nowhere, you see a javelin fly toward you.
What the fuck? Alright.
He's got some good aim.
And as you glance up, you see a bugbear who is pushing through the outside of this room. Yeah. Okay, so then it's going to be Pinrap, your turn.
All right. All right. Let's see what I want to do. So are
bet
those
we
rats
killed
moved
them.
at all, or?
No, they we'll say that they started to move toward.
Said they darted towards me.
Yeah, they started to move toward from wherever they were. That's where they are now, where you see them.
Then I'm gonna run right up to that one.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna swing my longsword at it and try to cut it in half.
Okay. Let's get a swing. Oh yeah, you definitely hit it.
Kill it.
Definitely.
Yeah, you kill that. You kill that rat. That's important.
So I can't see up here, right?
Pinrap smash.
No, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. You saw where the javelin, after the javelin struck you in the shoulder, you looked up and saw where it came from.
For future reference, if no one knew yet, you can like left click on your talisman there and right click right after, and it opens up like a distance tracker, so you don't have to measure then go. Sorry, and that's the rest of my turn.
All right. So we are at the rat. So the rat is going to attack with a bite. Attempt to bite you, Pinrap. Does a 6 hit?
Oh
Fish.
no.
Okay. All right.
It
So
barely misses though.
he tries to bite you, but yeah, barely misses. He tries to bite you, but your fishy reflexes are just too fast for the
macho.
I
rat.
flopped
Yeah,
out of the
so,
way in perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. Bungo.
Sure. Is this a space here? that I can
Yeah,
fit in?
sure. Yep.
Then I go there, and to help my good friend Pinrap to save him from these nasty rats.
Just do
You
that
dirty rat.
All right, let's give it.
I don't want to get lockjaw or tetanus.
Yep,
Whatever
you definitely hit. Yeah, okay, so you kill this rat too. Boom, dead. You all, the Batman are rat slayers. That's for sure.
And I saw the spear come. So can I, as bonus action, can I hide behind Pinrap?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's probably not hard either. You're pretty small.
Make a. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Yep. You are very hidden behind Pinrap.
I am his shadow, and that's my turn.
Okay. You are one with the fish shadow. All right. So it is Lena's turn.
Okay, Lena's gonna kind of stagger forward a little bit, and she's moving a little bit slower now than she was maybe a bit earlier. And she's gonna, it's a bugbear up ahead.
Correct.
She's gonna cast magic missile at it, but then afterwards, she's just kind of like crouched forward, like hunched over, almost on one knee, but not quite, if that makes sense. Probably not, but here we go.
She's gonna be the new tree.
The three missiles hit the bugbear, and it just sort of rears its head back and snarls at the group.
Roar.
I want to snarl back if I'm allowed.
Sure. It can't see you though because you're behind a wall. But
It's
you
okay.
snarl. You snarl
hear
like
me.
very You snarl. It looks very intimidating. He can't see it, but it's very intimidating.
Bubbles are coming out of your mouth. It's so scary.
All right. Ivaris.
I will post up in front of Lena and fire an arrow at the bug bar.
All right. Nope, it's just two sort of, you're shooting through Ulfgar at this point, and in order to sort of miss his little dwarven head, the arrow just twangs against the cave wall.
All right, I'm done.
All right, Ulfgar.
I am going to go up to this stupid thing and hit it with my great sword or great axe.
All right, let's see it.
Crit failure.
Yeah, you swing your great axe at him. You swing your great axe at him, and he just puts his hand up and slaps it out of your hand like you're just like a child. So your great axe is now your great axe slides across the floor and is now sitting right here.
Lay off all those Twinkies.
From 41, I'm gonna be dead. Watch.
Yeah.
Because last time this thing hit me, last time I faced a bugbear, it hit me for like 24.
You could always rage and it would happen.
It uses its reaction to chop your head off.
Yeah. Instantly.
You could always rage and it only chops your head half off.
I'm good. I believe in my belly shield. I didn't
right.
have that before.
So who is Sizzler?
I'll move forward, and I'm feeling pretty sullen still, so I'm gonna have a nice little half-hearted toss of acid at the bugbear.
All right, let's see it. Whew, okay, Dex, huh? What's the DC? Why does it say DC 0? Is it 13?
Ever since,
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's 13. Ever since I changed it to custom class, everything went sideways.
Okay, I will. I'll try to make this.
Sorry, dude.
That's all right. Okay, 14. So he makes it. He dives out of the way. He uses Ulfgar as a shield, and the acid just sort of splashes around. All right, so it is the bugbear's turn. The bugbear, after he slapped Ulfgar's axe out of his hand like a child, he is raring to go, and he pulls back, and he swings at Ulfgar.
Holy Lord. That was a little painful.
And he slashes Ulfgar down his chest. Like there's just this blood splatters out of Ulfgar's chest as this bugbear just rips his bone down his chest. And he sort of chuckles afterward. Like,
what was 17 minus 38?
Ha 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 ha. 21. You have 21 left. Okay, so it is Bungo. It's your turn.
What? Are you sure?
Pinrap?
Oh no, sorry. I apologize. Pinrap, it's your turn. I forgot that I'm just going right before.
I was like, did the rat kill me?
Yeah, the rat. Yeah, you're poisoned. You got some sick disease that makes it skip your turn every other time.
Okay. Makes sense.
No, it's Pinrap. It's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna run right up to it, and
you dive over the wall.
Yeah, totally, right over the wall. Wait, hang on.
Okay.
So yeah, I could do it.
All right, that's fine. I believe you.
So what I wanted to do was real quick use my divine smite, right?
Okay.
On it. See if I can destroy him.
Well, you can.
Oh, it's not an attack.
I think you can add that. You could choose to use that after.
Can you? What is the ability? Can you click it? Does it only work on
here?
That is the actual attack. If you click Divine Smite, that's the damage.
Isn't that the one that lets you expend a spell slot to deal extra damage?
Yeah, so you rolled a 6 both times in your attack. That's in your normal attack.
Okay,
if you were to click the actual Divine Smite, the wording, that's where the damage would come out.
Okay, yeah, so I already clicked it.
All right, so click the. Let's see. Okay, no. Oh, I see. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay, so no, you. Yeah, so when you use your attack to attempt to divine smite this thing, but this bugbear, but it for some reason it doesn't seem like this thing is smiteable, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem like a particularly evil spirit, and so it's just you're trying to smite this thing. You're trying to smite this thing, and it's just not. You're not getting the divine energy you're used to when you're smiting evil things, and it just sort of looks at you as you wave your hand at it twice, and it just looks at you like, what is this fish thing doing?
All right.
Bungo.
So yeah, I'd like to stealthily move up and stab it.
All right, go for it. It's engaged with the creatures in front of it, and it does not see you sneak up. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, you stab it right in the side, you knife it in the or short sword it in the side as it's engaged with Pinrap and Ulfgar, and it rears back in pain.
Yeah, knowing what I know now about how fragile I am, I will expend a key point
to get right next to it.
to disengage
Okay.
and back up a couple.
Okay. Lena.
She's gonna kind of saunter forward again and cast Firebolt at the bugbear.
All right.
Oh, we didn't roll for Wild Magic Surge last time.
Is that? Oh, that is. Wait. Oh yeah. Magic Missile is a first level spell. Okay, yeah. So roll the d20. Do that twice for me. Can you do another one, please? Okay. That. Yep. That does not seem to hit. So again, with sort of the commotion in front of it and your current condition, you don't. Your firebolt is not on point, and the firebolt just sort of whistles down the path to the left, and you light up the path for a second, but it does not hit the bugbear. Ivaris.
I'll fire an arrow.
Twang.
Yep. Again, too many people, too much traffic in front. You can't quite get a clean shot on it, and so you hold. You don't even let go. You're dipping and dodging, trying to get a clean shot on this thing, and there's just too much traffic in front. You can't quite take your
I'll
shot.
take an action surge and try to aim harder.
Okay.
Please aim harder.
Slightly
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, no, same. You just can't quite get. There's too many people in front. You're behind literally everyone at this point. And despite that, the fact that you're taller than some, you're not taller than Pinrap, so you can't quite get a beat on him.
As a tall fish.
You boy fish.
All right, I'm done.
Okay. Ulfgar.
I'm being pissed off that he took my great axe away. I'm gonna break his kneecaps.
All right. Let's see it.
Great.
Oh yeah, you smash him right in the knee with your.
Take the kneecaps, baby.
Yeah,
Take the kneecaps.
He doubles over in pain and he roars, like he's so combination of injured and angry right now. And he looks up at you. He's like doubled over in pain, and he looks up at you, and his eyes are like literally on fire. Like there's fire in his eyes.
I'm gonna whisper in his ear, then I'm gonna take his head after this.
I'll add it to my collection.
He is enraged. He looks like if looks could kill, you would be dead for like the 54th time. All right, Sizzler.
Being generous.
Sizzler.
Explain to me how the help action works in combat.
You can basically distract him or shove him a little bit to give somebody advantage on their next attack against him.
Could I whisper words of encouragement to somebody to give them advantage on their next attack or something like that?
Sure.
I'm going to come up to my half-thing friend, Bungo, and I'm going to whisper in his ear in an elven woman's voice, "You can do it! You can do it!"
I have no idea what he's saying, and it's super creepy.
All right, Bungo, you still, despite the creepiness, the creepy factor being at an all-time high, you still get advantage on your next attack from Sizzler's help. All right, so we are back at the bugbear. The bugbear is going to. He's so angry at Ulfgar right now, so he is going to attempt to attack.
My friends.
Attempt to attack Ulfgar again.
I'll see you in the other life.
So he just he rears up. He's doubled over in pain, and he just takes his glaive and just rips up Ulfgar's body, just creating an X almost, like a vertical X on Ulfgar's body of just blood. Just Pinrap. Ulfgar's blood just sprays onto your face as this bugbear is just trying to take. If he's going down, he's taking Ulfgar down with it.
Is this a good look for me, Ulfgar?
You can
I don't
feel
know,
the
man.
cholesterol.
Yeah. It's like it a little bit gets on your lip and it tastes like it's wine.
Butter.
Like it tastes like a combination of butter and wine. Just like not great. Okay, Pinrap, it's your turn.
Okay, give me 1 millisecond. I'm gonna try doing that again, except I don't know how to like do my attack and then Divine Smite.
Sure, so roll whatever your attack would be. Like
Oh wait,
click your sword or whatever.
apparently I can just use the Divine Smite thing because it does take my longsword attack and then adds the Divine Smite to
Yeah,
it.
it does.
So if it misses,
Yep.
I just won't use it.
Okay.
Right. It doesn't use the spell slot.
Go for it.
Damn it.
Yeah, no. So
The
you
third time in a row.
again, so you keep trying to like smite this thing, and it does not seem like it's a smiteable object. He does not seem. While he might be an angry, enraged, wild bugbear, he does not seem evil.
It's gonna be evil soon.
All right, Bungo.
Yeah, I want to run between Ulfgar's legs and attack this bugbear right in the kneecaps.
All right, make a
Make a what?
Advantage.
dex save, not with advantage, just a regular dex save.
For what?
I'll tell you after you make it.
Okay.
Go. Okay, you do not get any of Ulfgar's blood on you.
No, of course not.
Okay, now go ahead and do whatever you're gonna do.
So gross.
Okay, you stab at this thing sort of however and wherever you want, maybe in multiple places at once. Oh yeah, you like do like some sort of crazy ninja thing where like somehow you I'm trying to think of what game that is where like you like disappear in like a bit of a cloud and it's just like you just see like swing 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 like all over this thing's body and it's just Bungo like stabbing it a billion times in like all these different places.
You're thinking of Top Gun for the Sega Genesis.
What?
You're thinking of Top Gun for the Sega Genesis that happens in.
Top Gun?
Yeah.
I think he was.
I thought it was Mortal Kombat.
No,
Yeah,
there's a scene in the bar when Tom Cruise like cut that dude into 1,000 pieces.
No. What the heck? I don't remember. Anyway,
games. There's a million games like
yeah.
this.
Point of the matter is this like cloud of Bungo, this like movement. He's super dexterous, so it just looks like like all these zooming and zipping in your eyes. It's so fast. And just like clashing and slashing sounds. And then like when Bungo's just like standing in his place where he was when you first saw it before this action even happened, and the bugbear just collapsed with like 50 different stab wounds in it from Bungo.
Bungo has some luck on his side this time. 2 crits in a row. Like, oof.
That's not luck. That's just normal Bungo behavior.
Except for a couple
when
days
you're
ago.
when you're a folk hero, you're a folk hero.
Yeah. I mean,
So
until
the
you're
bugbear
not.
is dead.
The bugbear is dead.
All right, I'm grabbing my great axe and chopping this thing set off.
Okay.
Can I, while he's doing that, to make sure that I don't, get away from his great axe, but can I see if there's anything worthwhile on the body?
Yeah, you can. Roll an investigation. There's not any. I mean, there's a glaive, but there's not anything like his weapon. But there's.
It's got to be a good one.
There's nothing. Nothing. You don't find very much of worth. Actually, I'll double check while Ulfgar's chopping his head off. So Ulfgar, if you roll an attack roll for me, let's see how cleanly you get this head.
Crit.
If you roll below a below a 10, you're gonna demolish the head to the point where you'll like chop it in half or something. To the point. Okay, yeah, you get it. You get it clean.
This is coming with me.
Okay, pop it in
He
your
took me
bag.
down from 41 to 6 HP.
Okay, roll. Let's
Told
see.
you to raid.
I want you to roll.
Raged.
I don't want to rage.
You're
guys
gonna
should
have to-
shoot your shots.
You are going to have to roll something for me.
Yeah, I did like 36 damage to it.
I'm talking to everybody else.
I tried.
Okay, I'm gonna want you to roll. I'm gonna want you to roll a Dex save, please, or a sleight of hand, whichever you want out of the two.
God, they're both terrible.
Okay, nope, you do it. You get the head. You get the head in the bag.
It was never that hard before.
There may or may not be a reason for that.
Okay.
You get the head in the bag, and yep, everything's fine. So, in the room that you're in is the room that the large, the pit sort of drops into, if you recall, and so there's that. I believe also, I'm looking for the page. What room is 43?
I mean, we had gone up here to see that it splits off, but
Correct.
not everyone could follow.
No, it sort of gets very, very, very narrow, and you imagine, and it goes down too, and it was starting to get cold, and you imagine that, if I recall correctly from the last time, you imagine that sort of goes deeper into like maybe Underdark-esque territory. Oh, so there's a weapons rack in this room, and it had 2 spears, 6 javelins, 1 longsword, and 1 greatsword. And I believe, Sizzler, you took some, if not all of that. And I don't think you did this before, but Bungo, as you're searching, oh, never mind, you got a 9. Never mind. If anyone else wants to search, wink, wink, nod, nod, it might be good.
I'll search him.
Investigations.
Can I do a perception?
Nope, you can do an investigation.
Oh.
Okay,
Make
so
weird noises in the
yeah,
animal.
so the weird fish moaning, the weird moaning fish, finds on the bugbear, he finds 241 silver pieces and 54 gold pieces.
Does anyone else know I found these?
Roll a sleight of hand. You have to get above a 16. Nope. Bungo knows that you knows that you have it.
Putting it in my bag.
All right, so Bungo, you see him put this in his bag.
How much did you get from the body? We should account for it in the team loot.
Only like 30 silver pieces.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, of course you can insight that. Even just the way he said it. Even just the way he said. Okay, so you know that he's lying.
Pinrap.
Okay, wait. So you're actually gonna have to retell me what I got.
All right, you. I got like 20 silver pieces. You got 241 silver pieces and 54 gold pieces.
So with that, do I know the exact? With that insight, do I know the exact amount? Like
yeah, and you beat his sleight of hand. I mean, your passive perception's way higher than his sleight of hand, so you know that it was like at least 200, and we'll say, and you know that it's 50. Well, those are the two numbers.
Yeah, that was at least 250 gold plus some silver.
No. No.
Don't lie to me. Come on.
I
Our relationship is built on trust, my friend.
It was,
No,
by the
that's
way,
mine and
4
Pinrap's
pounds of
relationship.
silver and a pound of gold. It's
Yeah,
not
it's a lot.
that easy to pick that up.
Right.
you didn't see it. It's okay. You only seen there was only 30 silver.
I just told you how much I at least saw. Here, why don't you just hand it to me since I'm keeping all the other gold?
You miscalculated.
No, you're just insulting me. That's not nice. My feelings are hurt.
I still have your wooden miniature, so we'll still call it that. Even.
All right, that's fine. If you would like not to declare it, you're not going to get any of the rest of the party rewards.
Hey, maybe I'll wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and drop you some later.
That's not how I operate. I am here for everyone.
What a treasure, Bungo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hear that? Pinrap has decided to keep this treasure for himself. He gets none of the team's... The group's loot. You understand, everyone? Okay. That's all you're going to get now, Pinrap. Yep. It was worth it.
Totally worth it.
Lena is still hunched over.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I assume so, yeah.
Lena, are you okay?
Yep, I'm fine.
She's dying slowly.
Yeah, Ivaris, roll a perception. Yeah, she does not look fine. You can't tell like the extent of her injuries, but you could tell that like she looks visibly uncomfortable.
I'll offer an arm to help her up.
I'll take it, but then I brush it off like right after I stand up.
Well, we get out of here.
Yep, we probably should.
All right, so how I think there's a little bit of a distance between there are like vines hanging down that if you probably stood on one of the taller members, like maybe Pinrap's shoulders or something, you would be able to reach.
Costing them. I don't let anyone on these shoulders. It's going to cost them.
Does anybody have some rope and some twine?
Could I just run
I have
up
a
Pinrap
big old
and jump?
chest that I'm carrying with me still.
I don't think he's fast enough to catch me.
Yeah, you can try.
Can I make an acrobatics check to just dodge it out of the way?
Yeah, I'll
You
let
guys
you
just
do.
gonna like Dark Souls roll around each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pinrap, you can either make a strength or a dex, some sort of strength or dex roll to try to get him off or away from you. And same with you, Bungo. You can either make some sort of strength or dex. Obviously, you're going to choose dex to leap off of his shoulder before he can do anything about it.
All right.
Okay, I mean, you can roll if you want. Okay, yeah.
You fall.
Yeah. So as in anticipation, Pinrap, you actually do see Bungo running at you. In anticipation, you try to run away from him, but you end up tripping over your own feet and falling like on all fours. And Bungo just puts his foot on your back and jumps and grabs onto one of the vines. And as he does that, the force of him jumping off of your back actually pushes your face into the dirt. So you're now prone with your face in the dirt, and Bungo's hanging above you on a vine.
Can I try to pull him back down?
No, he has thoroughly defeated you in acrobatic combat.
While he's prone, I'd like to springboard off of him too.
I'm on the ground.
You just jump on him.
Yeah, Sizzler tries to jump off of his back as well, but in doing so, like Pinrap was starting to get up, and so your foot hit his back as he was trying to get up, and you topple over him, and now your face is in the dirt too.
Worth it. So now I'm up again, right?
No, you're not up. The force of Sizzler jumping off of your back knocked you both on the ground.
My God.
Ulfgar, you're too short, so you jump off of his back, but you can't quite reach the rope.
Can I provide help?
Actually, yeah, hold on. Yeah, make a strength save with advantage if Bungo's going to try to help you.
Who, me or him make a strength save?
Ulfgar, make a strength save with advantage. Okay, yeah. So, Bungo, you help put a rope in Ulfgar's hands as he tries to spring. He can't jump very high.
I'm holding the vines with my feet, and upside down, I'm holding the rope.
That works.
Anyway.
Yep.
What are you, a monkey?
I am an acrobatic folk hero. Kind of my thing.
All right, so Ulfgar is now on a rope, and Bungo is now on a rope. We have a prone Sizzler and a prone Pinrap.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to try to jump off their backs before they try to get up?
I will.
Okay, Lena. Acrobatics.
Yep.
You can do it with advantage if Bungo's going to try to help. Okay, cool.
Yeah, of course.
You make
I'm
it
just
even.
Gonna be here helping everyone.
Yep. Okay, Lena's on a rope. Ivaris, you want to try to give it a jump?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stomp them into the ground further.
Okay. All right. So Sizzler and Pinrap, you can get up if you'd like.
I am gonna get up.
All right.
What's the floor like in this room?
You gonna dust yourself off, or?
Nah, I'm leaving it.
All right, Dusty boy.
Let them know what they did later.
Dusty boy.
What's the floor like in the room?
Dusty.
I mean,
No, it's,
dirt, solid.
Yeah, it seems to be the closer you get to the path on the north side, it gets more rocky, but it's mostly covered over with sort of like a very fine dirt, but like it's very dusty. Like if you stomp around or run too fast or something, dust definitely like accumulates into the air amongst your feet.
So like the taller people, like say myself, can get up there.
I'm sorry, say it again. You cut out for a second.
Can I get up onto those vines like by myself?
You can try, but it's pretty high. Just jumping sort of like on your own.
Can I do like an athletics check?
Sure. It might help. Well, Bungo could actually probably help you if he's gonna continue. If he is gonna try to, or someone's gonna try to, you can do it with advantage.
I don't want his help. He just jumped off my back.
All right, then you can try to do it without advantage.
I'll help him. I'll help him.
Is he gonna jump
I'll
off
give
of
him
you or something?
Like the little, I'll cup my hands and boost his legs up.
Okay. Go ahead, you can do it. Okay, so
he gets to roll again.
What is this? That was literally the same roll.
Well,
I'm helping you. You've
Go
got
ahead.
advantage.
roll again. Yep, roll again.
I'm looking for the thing I just did, but it's not there. Where'd it go?
Athletics. It's like toward the top. Okay, so you make it on the rope, but barely. But you're hanging on.
Okay.
So we have Ivaris is on the ground. You have an old kobold Meepo Senior on the ground, and Sizzler, you're still on the ground.
Can I okay, so it's like if I'm hanging off the rope, right? Can I like grab onto it with like all my might and let them climb up off of me? Because they're nice and didn't use me as a goddamn jumping board.
You can try.
Okay. Do that. The
Ivaris?
strength save?
Meepo, would you like a lift?
Yes, please. I'm not sure that I could have the strength to climb a rope.
All
Does
right.
anyone have a loose rope? We can just tie it on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest.
Just toss up the rope and I can, knot it and let you guys climb up.
At this point, I'll reach into my bag of holding and pull out my 50 feet of rope and say, I've got what you need. And I'll toss one end up to Bungo.
Sure. Just proceed to knot and tie it on.
All right, someone tying it up to Meepo Senior.
Oh, sure. I was just going to have him get between my my quiver and my back, and then climb.
Okay. Well, however you guys want to do it.
Climbing up the rope.
Yeah, just climb.
It's like Ivaris has got Meepo under control.
Okay. All right. So Ivaris puts Meepo like onto his back, like wedges him in between his quiver and his sort of back, and climbs up the rope, I assume?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay. So Ivaris climbs up the rope. So Sizzler, are you also going to climb up the rope? I guess. Or no, did you make it up? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So you guys are on the vines. Are you going to start to climb up? I remember it was like 100 or so feet, from what I recall.
I was born ready.
All right.
We should take this quietly so that when we show back up, maybe King Rimple doesn't notice us immediately.
All right, so you're climbing and climbing and climbing as quietly as individuals can climb up some
pit.
Yeah, a pit.
Could I scout ahead?
Yeah, a pit. Yes, you can roll a roll. Actually, you don't need to roll. I forgot your passive is pretty good. So as you make it like we'll say a fourth of the way up, okay, you start to notice that where before there was this lush overhang of these vines that tangled all the way the entire sort of depth of the pit, you notice that about halfway up, there are no more vines. And what you can see is that it looks like someone had like crudely hacked them sort of into pieces, so they no longer hung the length that they used to.
Does it, where they're hacking, did it go into the stone to create, new hand or footholds?
Not really. It looks like they were just chopping. Like, it doesn't look like they were chopping it at each level, if that makes sense. They were just sort of chopping it from the top. So there might be some foothold style indentations toward the top of the rim, but I mean that's like 50 feet away. At least 50 feet away from you.
All right. Well, I'll go back and report this unfortunate news to the group.
What you do notice, Bungo, while you are up there, is that you can't quite see what it is, but there seems to be like some sort of apparatus that clearly was not there before on top of the pit.
Some sort of apparatus?
Correct.
Okay. Is there like a
you want to roll an investigation?
My strong suit. Intelligence.
See if you can figure out what the apparatus is. Oh, great. That was a great roll. Okay, yeah, so you notice that it looks like they have built some sort of like a bucket type system to traverse the pit now. So just things can't come and go as they please, perhaps before, as they could before because of the vines. They have made it so that essentially they are the keepers of what comes up from the pit. There's a bucket, a large bucket that you would imagine could fit at least one creature in it, and you imagine it could be lowered down similar to like a well.
Okay, so yeah, I'll report all this news to the group and suggest that Ivaris go and Sizzler pretend to be a goblin to get the bucket down, and Ivaris to go up the bucket to try to creep so we can get out of here.
Couldn't Ivaris shoot at the thing holding it up to make it fall down so we just climb up?
Yeah, but then how does it get back up?
We climb.
It would make us some super easy targets. I think can take the rope, and when I get up, toss the rope over and get the bucket back down so that there are 2 ropes down, and then you have a better chance of getting up if there's 2 ropes and something happens to the bucket.
I want to whisper something to Ivaris.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll listen, sure.
Yeah, well, no one knows this, so I'll just whisper it to you in chat.
All right, so what's the plan?
They're communicating non-verbally.
Not with their eyes. They're telling a whole long story.
Exactly.
Does that sound like a good idea of ours?
Yeah, hand me. Yeah, I'll do it. Give me some of it.
I'll do it.
Make a deal.
Yeah, so I'll give him I'll give him some gold from the party loot.
Okay.
How much are you throwing?
Let's go 30 for right now.
Give me more in case they get whiny and want to negotiate.
Well, tell them
throwing gold over the edge.
Tell them we can give them more once we're up safely.
Sure.
Whoa! Pixels.
Oh, this place.
There we go. Are there still this many people here?
You can't see over the edge. I'm just moving you into the.
I have to
Okay.
fix my character.
All right. So what's gonna happen, Ivaris? You climb to where the break in the foliage is on the wall, and what do you do? The bucket is like 50 feet above your head. It's not in the hanging position. It's in the up, sort of the stationary, held position at the top of the well, roughly 50 feet from you.
Yeah, I'll get Sizzler to mimic someone's voice.
Okay.
Sizzler, can you mimic a goblin's voice asking for a ride up, or perhaps that bugbear below?
Well, phrase that I've heard that would match this particular scenario, but I'll run with, guys, we're gonna need help in here.
So you see, hold on, you see a pair of eyes peer over one pair of eyes peer over the edge, and then you see another pair of eyes peer over the edge, and you hear some murmuring, and then another set of eyes, 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 and then before you know it, it's just all eyes and the top of little goblin heads peering over the edge, and just a bunch of murmuring that sort of starts to rise in level. It's just rising and rising and rising and rising until it's sort of like a raucous laughter and chatter and things of that nature above, and then all the eyes go down, all the eyes go away, and then you see the top of King Rimple's head peer over the edge.
And then I'll say,
Sexy
"Long live
scalp."
King Rimple!"
In what voice?
In King Rimple's voice.
King Rimple says, "Ah, what do we have here? My friends have come back."
And his beloved Ivaris.
With a lucrative business opportunity.
Ah, the handsome, beautiful, tall, strong backstabber Ivaris.
Editorial note: Ivaris is 4'10".
Okay, but he's tall to a small goblin.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that was funny.
Okay. Backstabber Ivaris is how he ends it. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, you can let us up and you can make some money, or...
And he just cuts you off. Or I could leave you to die.
Well, I doubt that. There's plenty of food growing down in the pit, and not really anybody to stop us from taking it.
No.
What happened to Belek?
Yeah.
I'm going to show him what
Nah.
happened to Belek. I'm going to take the head out of my backpack and show him.
Okay, roll a dex save.
Off
He's
the head.
taking your hands off the vines.
Okay, yeah, you pull the head out and you hold it in the air as you're holding on. What did you do?
So wait,
He looked at me funny.
time out.
Yeah.
King Ripple is looking over the edge, right?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
You just see his
Oh,
head.
no.
I
We
feel
can
like he's gonna have
see
some
him.
fire in his face in a second.
You
I
know you can use
want-
Tides of Chaos before a spell to give you advantage if it's an attack roll.
I will do that and cast Scorching Ray.
Okay, so first you're going to
Golly.
have to we're gonna roll on the wild magic table, obviously.
It's so scary. They're all on the vines with
It's just
you,
gonna be
so-
like a huge explosion happens and you all die.
And the 1d100 because you're using your Tides of Chaos and magic.
What?
You wanted to roll on the D100, the actual table, not just to see if it triggers, right?
Oh no, we're rolling on the actual table, definitely.
Perfectly balanced.
Didn't you roll on like the D10,000 one?
Yeah,
the
that
other
was
day?
hilarious. I loved every second of it. Okay, so
You loved every second of scrolling forever.
it was super fun. I liked it a lot. We're definitely gonna do that again in the future. Okay, what number did you roll?
50.
50.
All right. 50. What is 50? I'm scrolling through. 50 is... What? Air cannot come within 10 feet of the caster's principal weapon. Okay, that's annoying and weird.
What air?
I don't know,
What?
just air. Air in general.
Oh.
So she's
Okay,
suffocating
so-
people.
I don't know,
Especially
Lena.
Repelling
Lena.
air.
Yeah, so Lena, from all around, like the area around you, none of you can breathe. Everyone make contact.
Honestly,
No, roll again. That one is not applicable.
because that would
49.
be
Okay,
So.
34. All right. Okay, perfect. A light bulb appears over the caster's head when he or she casts a spell. I like that. Okay, so you cast. Go ahead, cast whatever spell you're going to cast. You get advantage on it, and now you have this like weird light bulb that appears over your head. All right, roll damage. The 18 hits.
3 attack rolls.
Okay, go for it. 5. Okay. 10. All right.
Jeez.
8. Okay. So fire spews out of the hole, right? And it strikes King Rimple, who you just see him, like, you see him go into the air on fire and, like, fly backward. And you hear him just go, ah!
Can we hear that again?
Yeah. Ah!
Lena, we need to get up before we do any of that.
I really don't like that guy.
Gotta more than just revenge.
And now you have, like, there's a glaring light that is, like, causing you all to have to squint above Lena's head.
I think the gods are telling me that was a bright idea.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of like a halo, but it's also filled in the above her head. That is just glowing the brightest light. It's like the sun, sort of, is like right above her head. So you're like looking at her, but you're like holding on to the ropes with one hand and like covering your eyes a little bit with the other hand. That's how bright it is.
Not bad, not bad. So
And
like,
I'm
how
gonna-
far above?
Wait,
Sorry.
So can we like climb fast now?
I mean,
No, 'cause
there's
there's
nothing
no
for you to
vines
climb.
above
You're
us.
at the.
What
you're
is
at
the bucket
bridge.
made out of? Is it
Wood.
wooden?
Yes.
Boy.
Was it anywhere near King Rimple at the time?
It was close.
Bungo, can you bring me that rope?
Yeah, I mean, I'll crawl down and get the rest of the rope. I guess.
You have a bunch of. You have maybe like half of the amount of goblin eyes that looked over you initially, which was basically like the whole rim. You have like half of that amount of goblin eyes now, like looking down at you, bearing down.
We need
at
some
you.
fog, Pinrap, on a
Oh.
count of 3. We need
I'll do it.
fog soon. Not yet. Just get ready.
Okay. I don't have a button for it, so
Just
yeah, I
cast
do.
Not
fog.
yet.
It's fine.
Not yet, though. Not yet. After he shoots the arrow.
Yeah, can I use my superiority dice to do something that would probably normally not work due to weight of rope?
Maybe explain what you want to do.
I would like to use my superiority dice to allow me to fire an arrow through the bucket with a rope tied to the back of it and sink it in pretty good to the point where we can climb that rope.
Okay, make a. It's not
And I'm
gonna be
willing to spend as many superiority dice as I need to try to make it happen.
all right. Your attacks are like insane, and you can definitely hit it with that. So let's make it a little bit harder. What like save or other ability would you imagine would be useful for something like that? So
It's
that I don't have-
probably
that I don't have to make it like a
strength
stupid
to
DC.
just
Okay.
like shoot the arrow into the bucket hard enough to get it to actually
All right.
hit.
Get above a 15, and you did it. And I'll let you re-roll it for superiority die if you need to. Yep, there you go. You did it. You shot your arrow up. You tied the rope to the back, right?
Yeah.
And then you shot your arrow up, and it busted through the back of the sort of the whatever wood they had used to put together the bucket, and the arrow sort of snagged sideways, like similar to how like a grappling hook would have to go through and open up. And so you have like the arrow is like horizontal after it popped through through the bottom of the bucket. And so it seems like you give it a tug or two, and it seems like it could carry like a fairly light individual up the rope. Like if you're trying to get Ulfgar to climb up that rope, you're sort of screwed. But if maybe you or another smaller size character, maybe Pinrap probably couldn't do it, you imagine, from your tug, but like you or Sizzler or Bungo could probably do it. Maybe
Bungo, I think it's going to have to be you. I'll cover you while you climb. Let's tie this thing off. That way, if they try to drop the rope down, maybe it won't crash instantly all the way to the floor.
Seeing that happen, can I just do my fog cloud where they have attached the rope around that area so they can't see it?
Where you've attached the rope. So I'm sorry, just which side? You on the top side? You want to shoot it
like
up
above it? Like no, not where our rope, where like the rope for the bucket attaches, so they can't like see any of that because it's 20 feet in every direction.
He wants to cloud the entire room out.
Sure. So you want to, you want to cloud like like where the opening of the 50 feet above you, basically, where the opening of the pit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you cast it 50 feet away, or if you can, that's fine.
Out.
You can still probably cover it if you can do it like 40 or 30 feet away, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if it's around you or how it works.
It doesn't tell me.
It's 120 foot range.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so if that's what you want to do, yep, you cast it above the pit, and since it's 20, the range, sure. Since the range is 20, let's see.
It covers the entire room.
Yeah, so it's basically almost this entire room is filled with fog.
Where every goblin could be.
So, I want you all to make Constitution saves with advantage as arrows rain down from the, just rain down from above. You just need to beat a 10. Oh, Bungo.
Bungo.
All right, Bungo, roll 1d4.
Aren't you supposed to be the nimble one?
He's on the rope. Yeah, he's on the rope.
Thing.
Bungo, you are like an arrow grazes your leg, and you get a slight scratch. You take 1 damage.
Yeah, because I'm climbing up this rope. I'm moving. These people are standing still. I'm just exposing myself.
We're standing still on vines.
Lena, I think you still need to make a con save with advantage as well. Okay, and then all right. So Bungo, you're gonna go up through. You're gonna climb the rope.
That's the plan.
Okay, so Lena, you're fine. Okay, so you climb through the fog. As the arrows sort of rain down, one scratches your through the dark, through the fog, basically. One scratches your leg. You take a little bit of damage, but you get to the top of the rope, right, which is the bottom of the bucket. And what are you gonna do now? There's fog everywhere. You basically can't see. You can just see like your hand in front of your face. It's pretty much.
Yeah, no, I would like to fondle the machine until I find a release.
The release is you can't find the release. The release is not. It does not seem to be attached to the bucket.
Well, I wasn't going to fondle the bucket. I was going to fondle the machine.
The machine.
Wants to
you're at the bottom of the
everything.
bucket.
Yeah, you're at the bottom of the bucket. So, like, if you could just picture like a wishing well, right? Like a well that has a bucket that goes down. That's like the mechanism that you saw.
Okay, well, I want to follow the rope back into the mechanism, and from the end of the rope, I want to then start fondling to find a catch or a release.
Okay, so just so that we're on the same page, in order to do that, right, as you would imagine on like an actual well, like a water well, you'd have to climb over the edge of the bucket, up the rope that attached the bucket to the mechanism that's like the wooden plank that's above it, across that wooden plank, and down to where like the action wheel is that they have to turn to like lift and lower people.
Yeah, totally.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, that's gonna take. You have to roll something for that because that's a lot. And there's like goblins like all around you shooting and shit.
Well, they're in a fog. They have no idea.
Shooting down. What are you saying?
They can't see anything. So.
Sure. So make an acrobatics or an athletics, whichever you prefer out of those two.
I think the big dex is.
Yep, you're fine. Okay, so you okay, great. All right, Lena's back. So you make it to the bucket release. and there are goblins that like are right next to you on both sides. Like they can see you, you can see them. It's like, you know how you can see your hand in front of your face? Like they're that close. You're basically
Okay.
touching them because they were both on opposite sides of that. You see your hand reach down and you trigger the bucket release right then, right as they see you.
Okay.
And you see them and they see you, like it's, you know that they see you, that kind of a thing. You lock eyes with one and then you like turn your head real fast and you lock eyes with the other one.
I wink at both.
You wink both eyes at the same time. Your one eye is looking
blinking
at each
at
of
them.
them, and you wink both of your eyes simultaneously. Okay, cool.
One of them must be Kiki.
I like it. It's awesome. Yeah,
And
you
invented a thing
hear
called
Kiki's
double
voice
winking.
call out. You hear Kiki's voice call out, Bungo! No. Okay, so all right, so you guys, so you trigger the bucket release, Bungo. Do you trigger it? Do you just let go and like run back? Like, what do you do?
Well, knowing that it's attached to the machine, yeah, I just want it to go down as far as it can.
Okay, so you trigger the bucket release and you just let it ride.
Confirmed.
Okay, so all right, so the rest of you see the bucket starts to just like fly down. It like totally uncontrolled free fall down the shaft. And so we'll say it makes it a quarter of the way down, and your depth perception, like it pops through the fog cloud, and like it's flying. What do you guys do? Everyone but Bungo.
Try to
Wait
grab
till
it?
gets past it.
Yeah, you
Make sure I'm not standing over the rope that's attached to the vines attached to the bottom of the bucket, and then try to grab that and see if I can slow its descent.
Okay, so anyone who wants to, and that could be all of you, that's fine. Try to make a strength save. Just everyone make a strength save, and let's get. Okay, so Sizzler doesn't do it. Okay, Ulfgar. Okay, Pinrap. Oof, good lord. Okay, I will. Let's do this. So Pinrap, Ulfgar, and Ivaris. Pinrap.
Sizzler, how did you roll that?
Seriously, Pinrap, Ulfgar, and Ivaris. You Pinrap tries to grab the bucket. He slows it down a lot. Ulfgar and Ivaris each like also slow the descent, but the bucket slips, we'll say maybe 20 or 25 feet below you guys. By the time like you slow it to an actual stop, it's
Wait,
about-
no.
What?
No, I want to cast Featherfall on it.
I mean, okay, so you cast Featherfall on the bucket when you see it, or
When I see it start to fall down,
okay,
and then it
Alright.
slows.
okay, sure. So you cast Featherfall on it as it starts to slow down. You guys, Pinrap, Ulfgar, and Ivaris, you all grab it as it like comes down. Is that a Lena? Is that a cantrip?
Nope.
Okay, so Lena's light bulb. Flame, if you will, sun lights up again, blinds you all momentarily. Roll a D, whatever we're doing, 10,000, Lena.
Oh Jesus.
Which are we doing? 1,000 or 10,000?
That one was 1,000.
Okay.
It's 9.
You are now a goat.
916. Yeah. All right, let's see. 916.
Your party has no current memory that you existed.
The
You've always
caster feels wholly alone in the universe. So Lena, there's a light bulb over your head. This instant feeling of like just immense loneliness hits you. It's as if you're the only person that exists on this earth. Or on this
figments of your
sphere or whatever.
imagination.
No, it's just as like the other people are around you, but it's like it's almost as if you don't recognize them. Like you're alone. You're like in your own little world. You've like withdrawn into yourself, and you're just like you're sullen and you're not feeling well. Okay, so the other three of you grab the bucket while this is happening, and what you notice is that Well, you have the bucket in your hand, right, or in your hands collectively, but the rope is still just like, just like flying down, as if the bucket would be flying past you guys, like much, 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 much further. If you let it go, you know what I mean. So the rope is piling up inside the bucket, basically,
So in
at
other
like a
words,
very quick speed.
we should all jump in the bucket and go for a ride. All right.
What? I'll try to take some rope and tie it off to the vines. Like, make a loop, shove it through some vines, pull some other ropes through the loop, and then jam the handle of the glaive that I've got through it to hold it.
Okay.
You have a glaive?
We killed 2 bugbear gardeners.
I should have taken one of those.
Too busy stealing from the group.
So that way, even if the rest of the rope keeps paying out, then we've still got, it's still up there.
Okay. So that's.
Is that rope heavy? Like,
Did
good
everybody
enough
just like die or something?
that we can climb
No,
it?
sorry. Okay, so what's gonna happen now is we're gonna pan back up to Bungo for a second. So Ivaris is like trying to peg the rope off to the side, and Bungo, the 2 goblins on either side of you, are each going to shout about like, "One's up here!" is like the rough translation of what they're gonna say in their goblin-y grumbles, and they're both going to try to grab you simultaneously. So I will let you make some dex-based roll for grapple, and they're each going to try to make a roll as well. And if their roll beats yours, they obviously they grapple you.
Okay.
So an 18. So the 18. I don't know why it did +3, but anyway, the 18. So you are grappled by one of the goblins.
Poke it in the eyes.
All right. So we'll pan back down to the group. What are you gonna do? This rope just continues to pile up, Ivaris. Like you're pegging it to the side as fast as you can, and the rope just continues to fly down, continues to fly down, continues to fly down.
Hopefully it doesn't just.
That's
come
a
out.
lot of
I'll
rope.
yell out, "That's good. We got enough."
Am I completely restrained from moving?
Yes.
It?
Yeah, you can't stop it.
Little busy.
Keep yelling as I draw and knock an arrow. And I'll try firing to the side of him.
Start singing.
To the side of whom?
To the side of Bungo.
Seems like
Try to hit the goblin.
Maybe they'll like your folk music. Start singing.
I mean,
They
you
might stop
can't
pushing.
see Bungo. You have no idea where he is. He
That's why I
just.
told him to keep talking.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can fire an arrow. It's gonna be with disadvantage. It's gonna be
Oh,
tough.
for sure.
Yeah,
So good.
Don't. You do not come anywhere close to it. You just shoot an arrow. You just shoot an arrow into the fog, and you have no idea what happened
It
to
was
it.
so bad he didn't even know what to tell
Yeah.
you.
You shoot an arrow into the arrow disappears into the fog, and you hear Bungo shout like, "Whoa! Be careful!"
Dude, not cool.
That's some sketch right there.
Which way do I need to go?
All right. Anyone else want to do anything? So you have this rope that just is still, just continuing to pile up. Lena seems to have withdrawn into herself. Ivaris is just shooting arrows into the fog and like trying to get this rope to like stop.
I'll try to help, and I'll throw a javelin up there.
All right. Roll an attack roll at disadvantage.
And you impale Bungo.
Yep. Bungo dies. Congratulations. You successfully killed Bungo. No, same thing. You just toss it into the darkness and the fog, and nothing.
Not helping.
You just hear Bungo yelling, "Stop throwing shit at me!" Yep, that's it. So what about we have Sizzler and we have what Pinrap? Is there anything either of you two want to do?
I'm
Bungo
gonna
does it
cast
first.
bless on the ranged people in our group because
Is
I
that
can't
a
do anything.
concentration spell?
No, I don't think so. It's an enchantment.
All right. So we have Sizzler. What are you gonna do?
Well, it is a concentration spell, so if you actually concentrate on that, your fog cloud's going to go away.
Okay, so I don't know. Oops, it won't let me know that in here for some reason.
I'm
No,
watching.
I'm not gonna do that.
All right, Sizzler, you're watching.
Yeah, I'll just watch too because I can't do anything else.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna need all of you. Anyone still in the pit, so not Bungo. Everyone but Bungo, make another round of con saves with advantage, as another hail of arrows comes down that flies down the pit. Anyone who has less than
Ivaris.
anyone who has less than 10, make a. Okay, so Ivaris did it. Make a 1d4. All right, so Ivaris takes 1 damage as an arrow grazes your leg. Bungo, another goblin is going to try to grab onto you. Make a dex, a dex save with disadvantage.
I don't have a turn to try to break free.
Say it again.
I don't have a turn to try to break free.
No, you're going to try to break free, and another one's going to try to grab you. So you're already. It's happening simultaneously. So yeah, so you have 2 goblins who are grabbing you now and pulling you down off of the
So the first one was like
pillar
what,
thing.
the grab or the one trying for me to try to break?
Sure. So the first one is, I mean, you can order them however you want. We'll say that 2 tried to grab you, 1 was on you, 1 grabbed you, and you can break free of 1, but you're off of the. Or I'll let you order it how you want to order it. You can either have 2 on you, right? And you can stay on the the horizontal beam that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or you can have 1 on you, but you're on the other side of the wall, so you're off of the beam. You're off of the beam that's over the pit. You're now on the other side of the 3 or 4 foot wall. Whichever you one of the 2, you choose.
So if they're both, okay, I'll just do the 1. That's fine.
Okay, so 1 is on you, but you're still in the beam, so you sort of are in a bit of a better position in that regard.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're back to the in the pit peeps. What are you gonna do?
Continue concentrating on my cloud that's saving the people that haven't been shot yet.
All right.
How is this rope still paying out like super
Yes.
quickly?
Yep.
How much fucking rope?
A lot. It's a
Like-
100. It's a 100-foot pit. So you would imagine that
I
there's
already have 50 feet of it to get the bucket to me.
right. So there's another 50 feet of rope. That's at least minimum 50 feet of rope that's accumulating.
It doesn't take 6 seconds for rope to fall 50 feet.
Yeah, but she cast
Featherfall.
On the
Featherfall
bucket.
on it. Right. So I mean, whatever. You have another. We'll say that
Wait,
you have
is
another.
the rope coming down slowly, or just the bucket was coming down?
Well, I had the whole thing coming down relatively.
Oh, dude,
slowly,
I'd have
but
been
you'd
climbing up that if I knew that.
But you have a ton. You have we'll say that you have over 50 feet of rope that has accumulated into your is either in the bucket and or attached to the wall or whatever you attach to the wall. It's a lot. They had significantly more rope than was necessary to get to the bottom.
I will say that just to give you a boost, Zach, even though I don't always come down on your side, gravity is 32 per second. So even though
it's 30 feet per second squared. It keeps accelerating.
It's 8.2 meters per second squared.
But you gotta account for the resistance that it's coming off.
It's still 6-second rounds. It's still 180 feet.
Well, we're not in combat, so we're not doing combat rounds per se. It's just sort of this is more amorphous. So you have like
Physics
fit,
class.
you have like whatever, like 50-ish feet of rope. There's a 50. It's a 50-foot climb from where you are. So what do you guys want to do?
If it's coming down slowly still, then I'll try to start climbing up. But if it's still coming down quick, I just have to wait.
I mean, it's coming down. You could try to climb it if you want. We'll say.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, sure.
I'm imagining someone climbing it but not moving, but like staying.
Yeah,
where
like
he
rope
was
is
to be.
going down. He's climbing. Rope is going down. He's. Okay, sure. So Ivaris, you like sort of jump on the rope, and so is Pinrap and Ulfgar. Are you still gonna hold onto the bucket as he tries to climb up the rope?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Ivaris, you start to go up, but make a dex save or some sort of dex based roll or strength. You get to choose of the two. It doesn't really matter.
Your big boy's got you down here.
All right, cool. Yep. So you make it. What's your movement?
35 feet.
Yeah, you make it half of your movement up the rope.
And then start sliding slowly down.
Okay. So does anyone else in the pit want to do anything?
Well, I kind of have to wait till everybody's got the rope secured.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, you can't. If both of you let go, that's gonna be a problem. Just a heads up. If both of you let go, you're gonna have issues.
Tie the bucket off to the vines.
Yeah, the bucket's like attached, isn't it? Just on
There
the.
was other rope that we attached on the bottom. Tie it off to the vines.
So
Okay.
yeah, let's
Alright.
tie it off.
Try and tie it off.
All right, so you're trying to tie it off to the vines that are on the bottom 50-foot section.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I don't know. Catherine's like closing a dish. It's like being super loud. Anyway, all right, so you try to tie it off. That's fine. You can tie the bucket off to the vine. So you have this sort of swinging rope that it has significantly slowed, if not stopped totally. Ivaris is trying to shimmy his way up. You haven't seen Bungo in a little while. Lena, so that's Pinrap and Ulfgar. You tie the bucket off. Lena and Sizzler. Is there anything specific that you're going to do?
I mean,
Lena, the light bulb has gone. Is no longer above your head, so you no longer have to cover your eyes when you look at Lena. And Lena, if you make some intelligence or wisdom save.
Is Lena still alone in the world?
Yeah, we'll see if she snaps back to reality.
Oop, there goes gravity.
Okay, yep, Lena, you snap back to reality. Gravity is still very much a thing, and you you're back, like fully realize like you're not alone in the world. You're like back in reality. You see everyone, and like you're like very quickly catching up with like what you last saw and what's currently going on, and like your brain is like fast forwarding through all the stuff
That hit me too hard. That was hilarious.
Oh snap.
All snap. Okay, is there anything you or Sizzler want to do? Sizzler, you said no.
I mean, I don't see anything productive at the moment.
Are they still holding the bucket?
It looks like they've tied it off to the wall now. So if you guys want to start, if other people want to start to climb up, you probably can give that a try.
Yeah, I want to
What
do
has
that.
productive stopped
Okay.
us?
Sizzler, do you want to try to do that too? Climb up the rope or no?
But climb.
I'm sorry, was that a yes?
Climb. Let's do it.
All right,
Climbing.
cool. Okay, so roll either a strength or dex based roll, both of you, and Sizzler. Ooh, brutal. Okay, so Lena, you actually slide further away. You like try to grab it, and you start falling, and you grab the vines like 20 feet down. You have to sort of claw your way back up. Okay, Sizzler, great. You make it half of your movement up the rope as well. All right, so everyone who is still in the pit, make a con save with advantage.
Hey,
And if-
Wiz.
Yes.
Can I apply Tides of Chaos to that roll so I have it with advantage so I could climb up?
Sure.
Because I get it back if I roll on the wild magic table.
Okay.
Okay.
10 beats, doesn't it?
All right, so roll on the wild magic table again, and you.
Well,
you
she won't roll on the magic table till she actually casts the spell after Tides of Chaos.
No, but if she uses Wait, what? If she
When you
uses
use Tides of
Chaos.
Chaos, you get advantage on like a skill check or an attack roll or a saving throw, and then the next time you cast a spell, the DM can just make you roll on the
Oh,
wild.
I thought if you used Tides of Chaos, you rolled.
No, you get Tides of Chaos back once you roll on the table.
I see. Okay, sure, that works. All right, sure. So you make it half of your movement, Lena, up as well. But all of you, so anyone who hasn't, I think you all rolled con saves. Yeah, so
I
you're
rolled
all.
a 10.
That's fine. It's 10 or above, and you're good.
Okay.
Yep, everyone's good. Lena, I think you did need to roll. Yep, you're good too. Okay. Yep. So the arrows, another wave of arrows, just sort of, our arrows will blot out the sun style, just fly through the pit. But you're all escape any damage. Bungo, let's do another round of saves here. Let's see. So the other one, wait, 2 are on you, but you're on the, or I don't remember. 1 is on you, and you're on the pillar. Okay.
Yep. Stop rolling so high. That helped out a
I
whole
know,
bunch.
right? It's insane. Okay, so the 2 are going to try to. Oh yeah, you probably definitely made that. I mean, they just they actually physically cannot roll a 24. So, okay, so you broke free from. Actually, I might as well roll because one can try to. Good lord! Yep, nope. You are totally broken free. You are now free to move however you want. You ripped your sort of self away from you, double jointed. You pop your arms out. You are on the pillar now, so it's totally fogged, and you can either stay next to the 2 goblins that are trying to grab at you and what have you, or you can. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I guess I'd like to stop the rope from falling.
Okay. Well, I think at this point, well, we'll retcon this for a minute. Like because you're right next to it, you actually see that it's not spinning anymore.
Okay.
The like lever thing is not spinning anymore, and there doesn't seem to be any more rope on the spool.
Gotcha. Can I take the dodge action and start to crank the wheel?
Crank the wheel up?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, so you're taking the dodge action, and you're trying to reel the bucket back up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do a strength save, and we'll see how much rope you can pull up on this. Okay, cool. Yep. So you pull up like a lot of rope. We'll say maybe like a fourth of it. You're like really as fast as you possibly can, and you get about like we'll say 25 or 30 feet of rope that you just like rip up real fast around the spool. All right. So the other 3 of you who are climbing the rope, you get up to the pillar ish. You're in a line. So who was climbing first? Ivaris, you were climbing first,
me.
right? Okay. So the line, it goes Ivaris, and then who climbs second? And then Sizzler. Okay. So your Ivaris is definitely first, and Ivaris, you get to the top of the rope, which is like looped over this thick, long sort of wood plank, right, that hangs over the pit, maybe like 4 feet above the lip of the pit, and you see Bungo's feet.
I see Bungo's feet.
Correct. Like you see Bungo's feet, like he's kneeling on the pillar to like pull this thing up, and so you see like his feet, like right sort of toward where your head is.
Oh, I mean, I'll climb up on top, and then is there anybody that looks like they're harassing him?
I mean, you can't see that far, but you see Bungo. Like you see Bungo sort of like splayed out a little bit, like reaching over and like furiously moving his arm, but you can't see. Yeah,
climb over him and try to get to the other side of the reel.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I want to do that, and then if there's
so when you get to the other side of the reel, you immediately see, like as you sort of like leap over Bungo, as you land and you look to your right and you look to your left, like as you're landing, you see there are 2 goblins who definitely notice you, like their heads sort of do like an arc as you like land next to them.
Can I draw my short sword and shield and attack?
No.
Oh well, worth a shot.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna be. Let's see. Let's start moving people. So you're gonna be like roughly here. Okay. Bungo. Let's move. Sizzler. Bungo. You are like here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then there's Lena and Sizzler in some. I don't remember which order you guys are in, but in some order. So you see Ivaris like essentially disappear above you, and then you shoot up a little bit more, and then whoever's next in line, you see the same thing Ivaris did. You see Bungo's feet, and you see like sort of right like above your head, like he's leaning over in a certain direction on the plank, and you see this sort of large, thick plank above your head.
I'll climb over the thing and follow Ivaris.
Okay, sure. Yep. So you can go there. Same thing happens. You see, you see Bungo sort of furiously cranking this, essentially this hand wheel thing, and you see Ivaris to your right. 2 goblins see you and actually see you jump over, and then as you land, you actually see another goblin to the left. So now there's 3 goblins that notice you, Lena. Sizzler?
I will do the same.
Okay, where are you landing?
Um,
You can't land there because we'll say that the pillar goes from like the pillar is going to go horizontally across like from Bungo to Pinrap. So you can land to the south of Bungo, that makes sense, or you can land directly to the north of Lena, but you have to jump off of that plank. You'd be jumping the whole pit the wrong way to land over there. Let's see if I can draw.
Worth.
Wizard's drawing skills.
Yeah, let me see if I can get some. Okay, cool. So yeah, so the plank is something like this. It goes from here to here.
Nice plank.
Thanks. Okay. All right, cool. So you
Core.
land there. So you see, again, you see the 2 goblins see you since you jumped that way. Just the 2 goblins that are next to Lena saw you. Do that. Okay, so Pinrap and Ulfgar, what are you gonna do?
Let's start climbing up that rope.
All right, so make a I don't know, some dex or strength based roll. I don't care between the 2. And if you can beat a 10, then you get half your movement up.
Oh, wait.
Nope. So you fall
Yeah.
down. You fall down like 20 or 25 feet.
Alright, I'm gonna start climbing up too.
Okay, do it. Just make a roll. All right. Yep. You make it half your movement with the rope. So you imagine next turn you can make it to the top.
Yeah,
similar how the other
25.
2 did. Yep. So both of you are going to need to make con saves with advantage, as another round of arrows makes its way. All right. Yep. Okay. So you're both fine. Okay. Great. So at this point, you hear King Rimple's voice. Enough! Stop this at once!
Wait.
None of you can see him though, obviously with the fog cloud.
Sizzler, is that you?
It is I, King Rimple, and I want enough. End this madness now.
Keep
Well,
that.
that was what I offered before.
Keep that up, Sizzler. Good job.
I am King Rimple. I am not this Sizzler.
Yep. Good job, Sizzler.
Bungo, that's not how it works for Kenku. They literally can't formulate a new sentence.
Drop your weapons immediately, and let's resolve this. That's it. That's all he says. He just trails off.
I don't hear it.
Lena looks at her hands and then looks at King Rimple.
You
and
can't
says,
see King Rimple through the fog.
Well, she holds up her hands anyways and says, "Can't drop these weapons."
Everyone's very confused.
Yeah.
Everyone is very scared, actually.
You want a ticket to the gun show, Rimple? Okay. So, does anyone else do anything or react in any way?
Has
I mean,
anyone
I'm
seen
just
her in jail?
happy that Sizzler is saying all this. This is a good ploy by him. Are the goblins buying it?
Yeah, what are the goblins doing?
You can't really see. The goblins in front of you are like looking like they are keeping like keen eyes on you. They're like to see how you're going to react, like what you're gonna do. But like it seems like they're confused. Like King Rimple's telling them to do one thing, but you guys like aren't moving or changing your actions seemingly yet. So they're not. It seems unclear. Their actions are ready. We'll say like ready to. If
I
you
say I
react.
was gonna ready. If they come at me, I'll stab them.
Yeah, no, it's
Full
like
sword stab 'em.
it's sort of like a standstill. Like they have essentially it seems like they think they have instructions to like stand down if you stand down.
Don't do it. It's a trick. It's
All
a
right,
trick.
I put my short sword away. That's fine.
I'll
I
shout
don't
out.
have time to draw mine anyways, apparently. So
I'm
I'll have
gonna
mine
shout
out.
out in Rimple's voice. Good Ivaris, you may leave.
And then you hear Rimple say, "I didn't say that. That wasn't me."
King Rimple.
You just hear King Rimple's like he's much louder than he was before. Stop it!
I mean, you've heard
it.
all this now. Right?
King Rimple's like you hear him like, stop this craziness now, or I will kill you all.
We can't trust
Not
any of the
this again.
Rimples. Can't trust any of the Rimples. Aim for the King Rimples.
All right, so we are back to the top of the order, which is essentially Bungo. Bungo, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
So you were pumping the sort of, you were, turning the hand crank, but then you just saw three of your fellow Batmen jump over your head over the wall. So at least three of them are over already. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You heard
I
Rimple's
guess-
like exclamation.
Sure. I mean, I don't have my weapon out. I just want to keep cranking, kind of slowly, hopes that I can get the rest of my team up.
Okay. All right, so you keep cranking. Do again whatever sort of strength-based thing you want to do.
Crank me up, Daddy.
Okay.
Like that soldier boy.
Daddy. Goodness.
I mean, that's technically true, Bungo. You are a daddy IRL. Okay. All right. So yeah, you pull up another like really good. You pull up another really true. Thankfully for you, you pull up. I'm just kidding. You pull up another really good. God, okay. All right. You pull up another like really good chunk. Another very very large chunk. You easily have more than half of the rope back up. But what we'll say is that as you're cranking, like you hit like a spot where like you're, you know what I mean? You're like crank, and then you hit like this very like aggressive, like hard stop on your cranking, and you have like half of it, a little over half, maybe 60 feet of it up.
Okay.
I mean, I'm around where the bucket is technically. If I fell down, my
That is so weird.
Yes, that's
That is
exactly
so
that's
weird.
100%. This is Bungo. I'm gonna put it in.
So weird.
Okay. All right. So, but you don't have a sword out or anything. Okay. So we're at the three who are up. So starting with Ivaris, what do you want to do, Ivaris? You're not in combat right now. There's an order from King Rimple for everyone to stand down and let you all work it out. The Bungo doesn't have a sword out or anything. He's still cranking.
All right, Rimple, what are your terms then?
Make this fog go away, and let's talk, Ivaris.
Well, I can't control the weather.
It's clearly not weather.
I can't control the climate.
Fog is weather.
All right, so then King Rimple says, "Fine, walk the voice. No one will harm you."
3.
Yeah, I'll
Skewer him.
walk that way, but I'll ready myself to dodge if he comes at me.
Okay. All right. So walk to the goblin. There you go. Okay. Yeah. He's right on it, around his throne. Not at it though.
How's his face look?
He's like toasty. Like his face looks like burnt and sort of like not scarred per se, but like burnt and like his shirt, his cape is like charred. He does not look. He looks like he's not doing so hot.
Easily killable is what he's
And
saying.
so he says, "Ivaris, what are your terms?"
Let us out of the pit. Let us go. Stop trying to kill us.
And what do I get in return, since you've been such a bad friend?
You don't have bad friends hanging around.
And he says, "That doesn't seem like much of an offer."
Toss in 30 gold.
All right, so you throw 30 gold at like.
I said I'll toss in 30 gold.
Oh. Let me see the cash.
Yeah, I'll toss him 30 gold.
Okay, so like at his feet, like so you just throw like sort of.
No, I'll just toss it to him,
Okay.
like at his chest.
Sure. All right, so like he like is trying to like catch all this gold that's being thrown at him basically, and it's like hitting his chest and like sort of falling on the ground. He's trying to pick it up, and he says, "What kind of assurances are you going to give me that you're just not going to kill me and my fellow goblins?"
Well, probably
Avoid the
could have
scary
already killed
girl.
you if we were that worried about it.
All right, so he says like, "I'll take my own precautions," and he says like, "Goblins, formation! Do not shoot unless I give the command." And so you see just all of the goblins that were around you guys, they all like back. You just see the ones that were next to you, at least. You see them like run away from you.
Are me and Pinrap up there yet?
No.
I'm in the hole.
Same here.
I was
So
like,
Sizzler and Lena, you see goblins like run past where Ivaris went, and like you see one run past where Ivaris went and one run around the other way. Is there anything that either of the two of you do?
We can still hear him, right? Even if we can't see him.
Rimple? Yeah.
I'll defer right now.
Okay.
Sizzlers or something you want to do?
Sizzler?
Well, no.
In party, but not in character. I really want to kill King Rimple.
same.
So
Well,
Screw
out of
this
character,
guy.
if you're going to do it, when all of his goblins moved away from him and Sizzler's in the fog with you, would be the time to do it.
But I have to see him in order
Yeah,
to
you
cast.
can't see him. That's probably your major issue.
I'll move in through the fog
Toward
closer to where
Ivaris?
to where I
Okay.
hear the voices. Do I see him now?
Yeah, you probably like pop through the cloud and you see him, but the goblin has already run past you. And what you notice now, as you make it through the cloud, like following the goblin, is that you see King Ripple, and behind him you see that all the goblins that you can see, we'll say it's like one or two, they have, and there's still more like shuffling past those one or two that you see. They all have their arrows like arrows notched on their bows, and all of the bows are like pointing toward like you guys basically. Ivaris, I assume that Meepo Senior is still on your back, but
Yes, but I've been trying to keep him, my torso, in between Meepo and the other goblin.
sure. Anything else, Lena?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Sizzler. Nothing? Anything? Sizzler?
Hello? Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, so Sizzler, what did you want to do?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, cool. All right, so
Great turn.
Ulfgar, you're halfway up. You make it to the pillar, and you basically don't see. Oh no, sorry. You see the same thing that the other three saw. You see Bungo's feet. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna climb up out.
Okay, sure. You can land anywhere on the Bungo side of the pit. And you heard the okay, not on Bungo, on the Bungo side of the pit. There you go.
I'd
Okay,
kill
so
him.
you did not see any of the like goblin movement, but you heard like the interaction. Sort of you heard the yelling, if you will, from like you heard the things that King Rimple said because he's loud and his voice reverberate. Pinrap, you make it halfway up the pillar, halfway up the rope. Okay, so we're back to the top. Bungo, what would you like to do?
Yeah. So is everyone up yet?
No, Pinrap is still not all the
Pinrap
way.
fell the first time.
Because he fell the first time.
Yeah. I'm still cranking that.
Well, there's nothing you can't. You tried to keep cranking the last time, but you're like you reached a jam. There's something that will not allow you to crank the bucket up, the rope up anymore. But the bucket is not at the top. You're not sure what it is, but like you can't seem to crank past this one spot.
Gotcha. All right. Well, guess I'll hop back as the fog dissipated. We're still in it.
How long has it been? Because it lasts an hour.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not been an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk to the voice that I
Until
heard
he gets
of
shot in
Rimple.
here.
Okay, so you walk toward like where Ivaris is. You want to like pop in somewhere between Ivaris, Lena, and Sizzler, maybe.
Oh, everyone's there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So again, you because you see what Lena saw. So you see King Rimple. He looks not great, but you also see a lot of goblins. I mean, you can't see all of them, obviously, but again, you saw them all sort of shuffling around. But the ones that you can see, maybe you can see a little bit more than Lena. Maybe you see 3 or 4. They all have their arrows notched in their bows, and their bows are like pointed in the direction of you all. And again, you know that King Rimple said, that there's essentially a truce, and so long as you all do not cause any more havoc, you can essentially leave in peace. So we're back at Ivaris. Ivaris, there's a standstill. A Mexican standoff.
I'm waiting by the pit to Pinrap up when he gets over.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything before Pinrap gets up, or you're just going to let Pinrap get to the top first?
Just wait for him, it sounds like.
Okay, so, all right. Well, Pinrap's going to BRB real quick. So he'll get to the Pinrap, gets to the top, and then he stands on top of the pillar, and then we're back at Bungo. We'll say that Pinrap's up now, and he can be over with you guys too. Or on the pillar, whichever he wants to be at the 2 when he comes back.
I say we just start trying to leave.
All right, so Bungo, you go to the door?
Yeah, I'll head to the door.
All right. Go toward the door. Bungo, you make...
Yeah.
Okay, so Bungo makes it out the door safely. Ivaris, you're next.
I'll start walking backwards towards the door, keeping the kobolds out of like line of sight.
Okay, so
is Lena following?
Hold on. So as you start to walk away, you see King Rimple like reach his hand out to you, like longingly.
Baby, come back.
He doesn't do anything or say anything, but he's like looking at you.
Oh, I've been around a long time. This isn't the first time that I'll just walk away.
He's like looking at you, and his hand is out, like non-verbally saying, "Don't go." All right, so Lena, you're next. Sizzler went out. Sizzler made it out the door successfully. Lena.
Oh gosh, please let me out the door.
I'll
please.
follow the group, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say to King Rimple, you look even uglier with your stupid face now.
Okay, he lets you go, and then when you get like what he considers to be a safe distance away into the fog, like he lets you go for like 3 or 4 seconds, and he says like, "At least I don't wear a mask, bitch."
What a jerk.
I wonder what kind of bullshit is under that mask, bitch.
It's all sorts and not what you want to be.
Okay,
I
so
want to kill him so bad.
all right.
You don't have fireball yet.
Okay, Pinrap and Ulfgar, it's your turn now. If you'd like to move through the door, you can move through
I'm
the
getting
door.
out of there before she blows the place up.
All right.
Too.
Okay. Bungo, you left as well, or I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
How-
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So you
I'll
all
let
make
my fog cloud go down too, since it was up. I was hoping he would do some shenanigans, maybe.
Okay. Nope. All right. So you successfully made it. You have to take the 30 gold from your party inventory.
Yeah, I
already.
removed it.
Okay, great. So you make it out the door. I mean, it seems true to his word. There's so this room does not the tokens in this room do not convey the quantity of goblins that are in the room. There's a lot of goblins in the room, and again, they're sort of doing just typical. They're just like carrying out their business. This room used to be sort of fairly empty when the smaller goblins took over, but now there's a lot of stuff in this room. There's more like not like like goblin treasure, which is just not really treasure. It's there's like some chairs and tables and like things that they've just scavenged or built out of. It's poorly made. It doesn't look great, but the goblins like seem to like it. There's like quote unquote goblin wares on like some tables. There's like food, like crappy goblin food on some tables. Let's see, there's like merchants, goblin merchants and things like exchanging. This just seems to be like sort of like their great room, like a common room that like all the goblins come and either do business or like laugh or just interact, just common social sort of type room. But they all seem to like not, they like look over, like people are, as you pass through, people look at you, but they just seem to like sort of shrug and go about their business as that's happening. And some of the goblins from the room behind you, after you make it, like, well, if you all make it to like halfway through the room, those goblins start to like sort of come out with their arrows still like pointed at you, just to make sure, seemingly like guarding the goblins in that room, making sure that you don't do anything crazy now that you've left. But you do not see King Rimple. You just see like sort of like foot soldier type goblins, just really keeping a very close eye and weapons trained on you.
Is this door open?
Sizzler, look the other way is the way
No,
out.
the door is not open.
This door?
The door is not open, no.
Open it.
Okay, you see just another.
Leave no room unchecked.
You see, let's see, let me go to. You see. What? Oh. You see this. The stench, garbage, and carrion here are evidence of years of use by unsanitary tenants. Tattered hides are stretched on frames, which form 6 unstable hammocks around a much-used fire pit. Battered equipment is mixed indiscriminately with broken or worn arms and armor.
Can I investigate anything?
Yep.
Interesting.
Sure. You can roll an investigation. Okay, so you find a search of the room. You after you search the room, you turn up putrid jerky, vinegary wine in poorly preserved water skins, and worthless bits of clutter. Enjoy your choice of any of those things.
So that was putrid jerky and vinegar wine.
Vinegary wine in poorly preserved water skins that will leak into your stuff, and worthless bits of clutter.
Or be fashioned into some sort of flaming device.
Put the jerky into my bag, and then I'm gonna hold out the vinegary wine and the skins kind of ahead of me, so it's not dripping on me. And I'm gonna waddle out of the room and say in Bungo's voice, "Hey, Ulfgar."
Yeah.
Sure.
Turn to hand it over to him.
Okay.
What are you handing me?
You just see this like poorly preserved water skin that he's handing you.
Okay.
Roll a strength. If you're going to grab it from him, roll a strength save.
A splasher.
I'll grab it.
Okay, so as you grab it,
Jeez, what did you put in it?
As you grab it, it just like explodes. The water skin just like explodes, and you are splashed like from your chin down. You're just covered in that vinegar wine that you were drinking out of those barrels earlier.
Oh no! I drank so much of that it actually healed me.
All right, so
Man, I'm disappointed now.
what are you guys gonna do? Keep moving through?
Yeah, I want to leave.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm
know
gonna.
what to
My
grab.
objective is to find Timo.
Okay. Yep. So you guys, again, this sort of the next hall that you move through. Again, it's hustle. There's a little bunch of hustle and bustle. You see some
I'll
guards
call
who
out the Ulfgar to watch out for the pit.
you're keeping
Oh, I forgot about the pit.
trained eye. But you make it through. I mean, unscathed. They don't seem to pay you much mind so long as you are doing what you said you were going to do and taking it.
Is the pit just these 4, or is it all like all 8?
It's the 4 in the middle, I believe.
Okay, so I'm just
Bungo,
gonna move right
Bungo,
here.
you coming as well?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the door on the other side of this room that you're in with the circle is open, and you see a kobold standing on the other side.
Oh, Timo!
No, and the kobold just motions you through.
Wait, so there's no pit here?
There was a pit. I believe we needed to walk along the edge to not fall in it.
I think they deactivated if I'm not incorrect from last time.
All right, so Sizzler, do you walk around the edge or do you just walk straight through the middle?
I walk around the edge.
So the kobold looks at you weirdly, but like keeps motioning you guys through.
All right, I'm gonna. No, I can't trust the cobalt.
I'm
All right,
Yeah, I
Ivaris,
walk around the
Ivaris,
edge.
do you walk in the center or the edge?
I walk through the center.
All right.
Me too.
Okay, so as you guys walk through the center, nothing happens. The kobold
Thank goodness.
kobold nods like duh and like keeps motioning you guys through. And he
All right,
looks
I'll crouch down and let Meepo Senior off my back.
okay, and then as everyone makes it through, he like glances like weirdly again at Sizzler, like who's the weird one? Like you think I was gonna kill you guys? Like that's the sense that you get when he's like motioning you guys.
Well, everything so far has tried to kill us. So yeah.
That's a good point. But this kobold, he's doing his thing. So you let Meepo Senior out off your back?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I crouch down, let him jump down.
So he jumps off of your back, and then as you're still crouched down, he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Thank you, Ivaris. You're very kind."
Yeah, absolutely. How'd you get stuck over there, anyways?
One night I found myself on the wrong side of the kobold camp, and I was captured by the goblins, who sold me to Balak as a slave.
Whack.
Very whack. I cannot wait to see my son. I'm so excited. I thought I'd never see him again. And he starts walking toward the queen.
But we should get there before he
Queen! Yeah, just run up to the queen.
Okay.
Queen! Since he's all hobbledy and old.
Sure.
Run right past him.
Okay. I don't remember the queen's voice at all, so we're just going to roll with this one. She says, "Ah, you're back."
Yes, and we are successful. We have eliminated the previous tenants, the orcs, or the mean goblins, hobgoblins, and we have even disposed of Balak, who lies below. We come back for our reward.
Your reward. Well, do you have any sort of evidence that you've done what you said you were going to do?
Oh boy, howdy.
Yeah, we kind of have a little bit.
Dumps out his entire pack, and it's just rations and heads.
It really is.
Is that what you're doing, Off-Guard? You're dumping out
Yeah,
all
I'm
of
grabbing
the heads?
every head and dropping it onto the floor for.
Okay, so Meepo Jr.'s head.
I don't have.
was
We
already
carried him.
Oh, okay. All right.
They
So
yelled at me for it.
okay, so you dump out all the heads, and Usage like taking it back, like, oh.
Yeah, there goes. We have Grenel's head, goblin commoner head, 2 bugbear heads, Bellex head, and like 2 more goblin heads.
She's like visibly disturbed by.
You wanted proof.
She's like, thank you?
Can I put them back now?
Yeah, sure. She's like, yeah, as you motion like you're gonna start picking them up, and she just like nods like with a really disgusted face, like, yeah, you can have that back if you want.
Oh, thank you. You're a saint. You really are.
So, what did I promise you again?
I believe all the riches of a kobold nation.
Okay,
And that
Does that
key.
sound about right?
The key
So-
that was over there.
sure. So she she puts the key in the palm of her hand and holds it out.
I'll take that.
No,
Nice.
Lena
I
will
grab it.
take it.
Yeah, but I
Alright.
said.
So make two sleight of hand checks. Whoever's the highest amongst the two gets to take it out of her hand.
The 2, even though I'm talking.
Well, I mean, are you gonna try to take it too? You didn't say you were gonna try to
Well,
take it.
if she's talking to me, she's gonna hand it.
Okay, so but whoever wants to try to take it out of her hand, make a sleight of hand check. Okay, Lena and Pinrap have already done.
Take it out of my hand.
Okay, so
Oh.
all of you weirdos all dive at the key at the exact same time, and she's startled a little bit and like jumps back a bit, but Sizzler is the one who ends up with the key out of the group.
Mika!
She
Didn't
says,
even
I
see
don't
you
even know
there.
where it goes.
Yeah, and she says like, I don't remember this one being with you.
We
Yeah.
met him in the pit.
Necessity often makes for some strange bedfellows.
Interesting. Well, she also like drops a sack of she also drops like a small sack of gold into your hand, Pinrap, which is still, or not Pinrap, sorry, Bungo, which is still outstretched, and they're you can do what you want with that. I'm not
Fair
gonna.
enough. Thank you. You're too kind, Your Majesty.
And she also hands you, Bungo, she puts this like small token in your hands, and 3 scrolls.
Okay, thank you, Your Highness. Very, very generous of you.
She says, you are quite welcome. Thank you for your service.
Now,
then she-
we also.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We also rescued one of your kindred souls, one of another of your tribe. He says that he is Meepo's father, but he's a little old and senile, so you may want to discount what he has to say.
And then that just as you say that, like Meepo Senior starts to walk, and Usadrill says, like, I was just about to comment. She's like, how are you doing? And he says, I've seen better days, as he like slowly walks forward. And he says, this group was talking about a whole variety of things. First of all, I'd like to see my son. And Usadrill says, we found your son. I hate to break this news to you, Meepo, but we found your son buried in a shallow grave, right where he was trying to keep track of our dragon.
Wasn't he a deserter or something, and he was kicked out?
No, he was on shitty guard duty.
Yeah, he was on shitty dragon guard duty. And Usadrill says his head was chopped off. And as she says that, Meepo Senior's eyes like light up, and his head slowly turns around to look at Ulfgar.
Those bastards.
It
and
was, and I immediately point to the fish.
I can I step in front of Ulfgar and Pinrap and be like, we will figure out who did these heinous things, and I promise you that we, just like we've collected heads for other ill people, we can do somewhat something similar. You can see that we are friends of the kobolds, and we can fulfill promises.
Make a deception roll.
Deception. I haven't seen one. Is there a deception roll?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's under deception.
Oh, there it is.
Deception.
I cannot read tonight.
Oh, she does not seem pleased.
While they're
I haven't
chatting, can I
seen
open
one
up this
lie.
door?
Yeah, you can.
I didn't say one lie.
You just reveal a room
Usually what's behind doors.
that has kobolds in it. So let's see. Let me describe this room for you. All right. You see a small pit of embers built of broken masonry and portions of shattered stone sculptures. Smolders in the center of the chamber. Arranged around the pit are several small rugs of woven matted hair and dead fungi.
Fungi, like multiple bungo?
Fungi, not bungi. Sorry. Okay. I also need you to roll a Constitution save.
Ooh.
Okay. So
Damn.
something when you open the door, something clicks and you get like something bounces off your shirt. Like you get hit with something small, but it like sort of bounces off of your shirt and yeah. I
Me
mean,
in the shirt.
you don't seem fazed by it.
What a very nicely made trap.
Seriously.
What hit me in the shirt?
I mean, you don't know. Just something small seemed to like
One of the bungi.
yeah bounce off your shirt. So yeah, there's 3 kobolds in the room. They're just sort of chilling on these mats.
I'll wave hello at them.
They all look at you and like with strange semi-concerned eyes and like really like sort
So
of like they're reserved, but they like sort of wave back a little bit confused.
Are we free to go? Like, is this our time to exit? Like,
Usadrill says like, no, I don't think you're quite free to go yet. And she like beckons for Meepo Senior to come forward, and he slowly starts to make his way closer to her, and they start having a conversation in a language none of you seem to understand.
I cast comprehend language.
Okay, so
I can
Lena,
sort of follow along.
sure. I mean, it's like very So Lena and Ivaris, you can understand that. Oh wait, Lena, I need you to roll on the wild magic table, please.
does her light bulb still pop up, or
Yes,
is that over now?
yeah, and her light bulb pops up.
She's in extreme depression. No.
No,
Jeez.
the extreme depression is over. Let's.
9,331
That doesn't sound very good.
on a 10,000.
Takes a second to get down.
Yeah, it does. There's so many I have to go through. Okay.
Oh my god!
What is it? I didn't see it. Oh,
Please
God.
don't
Yours
say you just-
castle sinks into the ground.
I'm sorry. What?
That's already happened.
What
That's
happened?
the whole premise of this campaign.
Oh.
You can't just make us start this campaign over.
No.
What
Okay, hold on. Where
happens?
the heck? I can't. I'm trying to find it. Lena's laughing. I can't.
I didn't hear what happened.
Something about a
Oh
castle
my God.
sinking.
Oh, okay. All right. So here we go. So Lena casts comprehend languages, right? And you just all feel like this intense rumbling sound.
Oh.
Dude, I think we have to get out of the castle.
Lena, I want everyone to roll deck saves. Lena, I want you to roll 1d20.
Oh god, these are
Oh
really
no.
I think the castle's sinking into the ground further. It's unstable
Okay.
ground.
Yeah, so anyone who rolled less than a 10 of a deck save, I want you to roll a 1d4. The And you
Dude,
take
the
that
end-
much. You take that much damage from like falling rocks and debris as the whole thing shakes, and you try to like brace yourself against whatever you can. The shaking is immense, and like all the kobolds are scattering. There's like shouting. People are like ducking behind things.
The
Like
edge of
rocks
the
fall,
castle is
etc.
right there.
And you like that shaking goes on for like a full minute or two until things like sort of settle down again, and everyone just looking around at each other like very, very nervous, scared to even move. And you hear like again like Meepo and Usadrill. Usadrill says like, "What was that?" But only Ivaris and Lena understand it because it is not in a language that it was not in common.
Goodness gracious.
Since we technically don't know what happened, can I like go see what happened, or are they gonna stop me?
I think we can feel it. My kinetic sense is such that I can feel movements of such scale.
Okay. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you can roll. Let's see. What would be a reasonable roll for you to try?
Survival.
Perception. or
Sure.
survival.
Yeah, do a survival, and let's see. Anyone who wants to can do a survival, or
I'll
if
do
you
a
want to try to
survival.
propose a different roll. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, sure. Ulfgar, you definitely know that you.
Jesus.
Yeah, Lena, Ulfgar, know that. Like you definitely just sunk more. That the castle was sinking. Lena,
Is
you
not
know,
good.
Lena, you know that it sunk about 7 feet.
Holy cow. Can I turn to everybody and say, can we please get out of here before we all die?
Of course, yeah, you could say that.
Please, let's go.
And Usadrill says, "Not so fast. I heard that you chopped off a kobold's head. I haven't seen Meepo Jr. in a while."
Either have I.
And
Let's go.
Meepo Sr. glares at you.
I don't know who that was.
We don't
Yeah,
know who we killed.
And Usadrill just says, "Excuse me?
Oh, we killed a bunch of goblins down there.
We're not
We
talking
killed-
about a goblin."
We never
This
killed
door?
no kobold.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Which door are you at now? Okay.
Yeah, no kobolds were charmed in the making of this.
So you
Success.
see, okay, Pinrap, or sorry, Sizzler. The odor of rotting meat permeates this chamber. Most of the rusty iron hooks in the ceiling are empty, but a few hold skinned carcasses of large vermin, huge fungoid stalks, and several massive insect carcasses. On a small battered bench along the south of the wall are pieces of nearly useless cutlery and rusting skinny knives.
Skinny knives or skinning?
Skinny knife
skinning.
by Levi.
Skinning knife. Yeah. Sure. So if any of that sounds entertaining or helpful to you, feel free to tell me what you're taking. In the meantime, this kobold follows you through here and stands in the doorway. Usadrill says, and as Meepo Sr. starts to weep, and Usadrill says, "He says that you killed a kobold." And she's like, the tone in her voice has shifted.
Yeah, down in the pit we did. There was a kobold who attacked us.
He said that you killed a sleeping kobold.
Nonsense. We never did that.
You know, we put him to sleep. That's
He
what
says,
he meant. You know,
he
like
says
sleep
that
with the fishes type thing.
He says that the
Dwarves.
fish one, and the dwarf one, we're talking about which one of them murdered a
Sorry.
sleeping kobold. You chopped his head clean off. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
Like I said, the dwarves. This is how they talk, right? This is
Yeah.
you'll sleep with the fishes. That's the whole vernacular for death. And kill. You've not heard that before? Surprise.
It's just dwarf slang. It's harmless. Can we both make persuasion rolls to see if we can persuade them to
No.
believe that?
No.
I mean, it makes sense.
You already failed yours miserably, so trying to convince her of that, I think at this point is going to be difficult for you.
Well, this is
Can
a completely separate thing, and this one is not based on fact.
And I haven't even tried yet.
Okay, so she is not. All right, she says this. Most of you can leave, but the fish and the dwarf stay with me.
Not happening.
No.
This whole we don't
So
know this.
as you say no, the kobolds come out of this room, and two stand here,
I'll show the kobolds what a real man looks like. Come on.
and other elites start to close.
Sizzler, I'd come back in here.
What's in this room?
Just
He's like running through the castle.
more kobolds and a path. You see sort of a path on the other end of the room.
Is this really
The
necessary?
floors partially collapse on the east side of this room, revealing a tunnel. The passage is unworked and it fluctuates widely in width, height, and direction as natural tunnels do. Within the room, hunting gear is racked on the wall and several pallets laid nearby.
Is that thing even open anymore? That tunnel?
Yeah, I mean, from what
Because we just sank.
From what Sizzler can tell, I mean, he can't see down the whole tunnel, but I mean, he sees how far it goes. I mean, he has no idea, particularly now that it sank.
You know,
The Sizzler, you hear the kobold. You hear a kobold shout something behind you, and these kobolds start to move toward the door. They're not threatening you or anything, but they're just moving toward the door.
Okay. Bye. I'll go check out this other door.
All right, as you go to check out this, a kobold steps out of it and stands in your way. And these kobolds follow you out of the room.
I get it. I'll try to shuffle past this one.
Yeah, he's not going to let you past yet.
have you
He
guys met
as
the
you try to walk
new-
past him a little bit, he puts his hand out and just like holds his hand up for a second. He doesn't like pull out a weapon or anything or like brandish a weapon toward you, although he has one in his hand. He just puts his bare hand up and like puts like a finger out like, hold on a second.
Have you guys met the new Goblin King?
And then Usadrill like addresses Bungo again, and she says, "We need to figure out exactly what happened. All of you can leave except for the two that were talking about murdering a sleeping kobold.
I
Or-
told you we stick together.
Okay, then we can figure this out together. Now, why don't you all filter into one of our rooms, and you can stay there overnight while we try to figure this out."
Why overnight? Why can't we just do this now?
These things take time. Trials take time.
Um,
I don't
How
think we have
about-
time for trials. We literally just sank.
She's like, then we can
should
all, then we can,
probably leave.
no, we have been here for ages. I am in a long line. I come from a long line of kobold rulers. We've been here for ages, and we will be here for ages. This is our citadel, no matter what those stupid goblins say. I will not be leaving my home. I don't care if I sink all the way into the earth. This is my citadel.
They told us
So-
otherwise. They said
Now
it was
you're
theirs.
killing the kobolds.
Of course, the goblins would tell you otherwise, but I'm not worried about what those stupid little creatures say. Now, back to the topic at hand. Everyone can leave except for the fish and the dwarf, or you can all stay and await a trial.
Shouldn't you be more concerned with your missing dragon right now?
Yeah, they said they would use it against you. I mean, shouldn't you go find it?
How
We
are
ha-
you gonna
we
get
have-
your missing dragon when you can't even fight the goblins and we had to do it for you?
We have scouts, thank you very much.
Well, they're
Now-
not very good apparently.
Well, unfortunately, our best dragon handler was murdered in cold blood, and this Meepo Senior heard the two of you talking about murdering a sleeping kobold. So,
Sounds like something a goblin would say and a kobold that turned key on his own race would.
You know, this I hate to
All right, you can-
disparage, but you
All
know,
right,
we
go ahead.
did find him in the service of what's the guy with the name B?
Balak.
Balak.
Okay,
He's in
roll.
service.
Lena, you can roll persuasion, and Bungo, you can roll some.
And I'm gonna use magic surge.
All right, roll
Tides
in
of
the
chaos.
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
Oh no.
To
All
the
right.
sky.
No, so that's okay. So she seems like moved by what she like starts to question what. All right, so you
Ooh.
guys are like starting to persuade her that like, okay, so maybe Meepo is not. You're right to a certain extent. Meepo was like with them for a while. Like maybe what is he thinking?
Even with that crit.
So she's torn. You can tell like by the look on her face. She's like looking at him and looking at you guys and looking at him and looking at you guys like back and forth.
We did help them.
Pinrap, I don't think we should talk.
There's really not time for this right now. And you know that.
Can I start motioning to the party with my head, toward the door?
Yeah, you can motion to the party. You can motion.
Just with my head.
Meepo yells in common, "I want to see my son."
See what I mean? He's not even following the conversation.
Where is my son?
I believe we buried him. Is that correct? Out of character?
Well, yeah, we buried him, but we don't even know that it was Meepo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to say anything.
Well, I mean, in character, I'll bet we can put 2 and fucking 2 together.
Considering he said that his son was the one who was watching the dragon.
Yeah, I know, but we don't
How
want them
long
to know that.
I mean,
They know he's dead.
And you also said down there that you chopped his head off.
They
seems
saw his
circumstantial.
head in like one of the first sessions.
Yeah,
You didn't want to give it up to them, and they made you give it up.
but this
No,
seems
you guys made me
circumstantial.
bury it.
That's all.
They wanted you to give it up, and you didn't want to. Remember, there was gonna be
Yeah,
a fight.
I know I didn't want to, but they made me.
Yeah, sure. Lots of kobolds do guard duty. You know. I mean,
Sizzler's very confused by all of this.
Just continue to be confused.
So, Sizzler, this Cobalt Elite lets you pass, but follows you closely and like sort of they cordon you off to head toward the group. No, you
Pass
can't
and
go,
get to this
well, no.
door.
Okay, what I'm saying is you can't go that. There you go.
Go to the next room. I need to see them.
Mm-hmm.
He shepherded back to the group.
Yeah.
Look, Meepo, are you sure this is something you want to see? I mean, it's not going to be easy for you.
Because I need to know what happened to my son.
Okay, well, this has nothing to do with us, and we have more pressing matters. So
I
please
have
keep your
suspicions.
kobold civil matters to your kobold selves.
I have suspicions that you murdered my son.
Great. That's
Why would we murder your
fantastic.
son
But you're
and then rescue
obviously
you?
crazy living by yourself as a slave for who knows how long to a frickin' tree druid. Now excuse us as we deal with more pressing matters.
So Usadrill at this point says like, aside from that, he raises a good point. Where is his son?
Oh
don't
no,
know
you're the
yet.
queen.
So now you're sending on us on another quest for a missing kobold.
No, what happened to his son?
I don't know what
No,
happened to his son. We don't know his son.
Of the kobolds.
Why aren't you keeping your army in check? That's your responsibility, not ours.
I am keeping my army in check. I asked you to stay for a trial.
No.
Now,
on what grounds?
now,
On what grounds?
I grabbed Meepo's hand.
You're absolutely correct. Okay, so you grab Meepo's hand, and she sort of like lets it go because you're not one of the two that she suspects of being awful. So, so she says this: "Look, I understand your position, and it might be correct. Now go to the trial, and you can be witnesses against the prosecution, and let Meepo Senior present his case, and you present your case, and the winner shall prevail."
Seems like a very intelligent kobold.
I mean, she's the queen for a reason. Or, alternatively, All of you can leave, with the exception of the fish and the dwarf.
Do you guys believe in trial by combat?
Yeah.
We do when we find our dragon.
Typically,
our dragon is the one who does our combat for us.
Well, how about this? We'll go find your dragon, and then we can do trial by combat. Seem fair?
If you wish. And
Okay.
as she says that, she like motions with her hand. Oh well, first Ivaris, let's go through this. Ivaris, what do you want to do with Meepo Senior?
I'm gonna lead him out to where we buried Meepo in a shallow ass grave.
All right, so they let you pass.
didn't we bury him like right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where his body is on the map. Yes.
I don't think there's a bunch of them in the same pictures.
Okay, so the rest of you they let Ivaris pass. The rest of you, again, are sort of shepherded back the way you came, which is all of your other passages except for the way that you came are blocked off.
So like up here.
Yep. So you can
Check
go up
this
there.
door.
No, you can't. All of the paths except for the way you came, including doors, Sizzler, you little door opener, are all blocked off. So you'd have to go through a kobold to get past it, and they do not seem inclined to let you through, except for Ivaris, who's passing sort of with Meepo
Each
Senior.
one of these is only one, though, right?
What?
Each one of these pictures is one, not like those goblins where each one was 2 to 4.
Correct. But you also don't know, just to sort of a metagame FYI, you also don't know what's behind a lot of these doors. So
yeah, there's like 20 doors we didn't open.
Keep that in mind.
So if I'm like, if I
Guys,
whisper,
I was trying.
If I whisper to Lena,
Sizzler found some. There are some. I will again metagaming. There are a lot you haven't seen.
Lena, I'm gonna whisper in your ear. Should I command him to move?
No. The dragon's the priority.
Command people? You could have commanded someone to comply.
I can command one word command. I can make him move by saying
Comply?
move.
Yeah. A lot of good
All right,
words
so
out there.
okay, so you all right, we'll go as you guys are moving back into the other room. Avaris has sort of passed through. So Avaris, what do you do? This is Avaris's little vignette right now.
I will say to Meepo, I'm sorry, Meepo. I know it's hard to lose someone you care about, and it's tough, and it's going to be tough for a long time. But things get a little bit better eventually, and I'll start digging with my hands to uncover Meepo.
So he's weeping, and he takes like a. Did you bring the broom with you or no? When you packed him up.
If he had it, and
right, sure.
yeah, I mean, I'll stick it in the quiver. That's got a space for javelin. Whatever, fine.
He's still using it as sort of like a cane, and he starts like brushing it as you're like digging. He's brushing it too, and he's like weeping, and then he just says like, "Thank you, kind of Varus. How do you know this is where my son is?"
I was one of the people that buried him.
Well, how did you find his remains? As you guys are digging.
There was a fight with some elemental creatures of some kind, and we tried to take shelter in this room, and things got hectic and out of control very quickly.
All right, roll a deception or a persuasion if you want to argue that you're not lying or attempting to lie or cover something up.
I would say, I mean, they're both the same for me, but I would say that it's persuasion.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, he is very skeptical. Very, very skeptical. And you get to the body, right? You dig, you get to the body, and the first thing you find is like a cleanly severed head. And he just turns his head. He just turns his head and looks at you. And like you can tell by the way he's looking at you that like he just thinks you're a fucking liar.
I mean, I did a good job, I guess.
And he says, "What say you?" And he says, "What say you now of Varus?"
I told you, things got out of hand, and it was a bad scene. I'm not saying it was right, but it's what happened.
And he says, "You're not." He says, "You're not saying what is right. What happened? Tell me what happened."
Panicked person ran into this room, saw Meepo, thought he was a threat, and stabbed.
Which panicked person?
You deserve to know the truth.
He
And
nods.
I
He
lean
nods
in
in
and
agreement.
Tell him the truth.
Oh gosh, here we
Sounding
go.
at your
We're all
teammates?
dead. Here we go.
He like yells, right? He like screams at the top of his old decrepit lungs, and it's like a blood curdling scream, of which, like the magnitude of which, like you haven't experienced before. Like he screams, and the other kobolds that are in this room are like visibly shaken, and like the room sort of shakes a bit strangely, and he is like inconsolable and much louder and like more passionate than like a kobold at all, let alone a kobold of his age, like you would ever experience. So the group, are you all heading back to I don't know, back the way you came? Are you gonna wait for Ivaris? How's this gonna go down? You also hear this like awful scream. You don't know what it is or how it happened, but like you hear this awful scream. It does not sound like Ivaris screaming, but it echoes through these hallways, and all of the kobolds sort of like jump a minute, like jump for a second, and like sort of like look at each other and like look around.
Maybe we can get the goblins to help us out.
We kind of need a virus for that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
wait,
whisper to Ivaris
You're gonna use the spell Whisper?
message.
Okay.
Yeah. And just ask what's going on.
All right, roll on the wild magic table for me.
Dude, please get something that kills all the enemies around us or something.
Turns them all into chickens.
No, come on, dunk this
Oh,
castle
no.
another 20 feet into the ground. Let's see, 37.
89.
So much to scroll through. Okay.
So Judas, did they at least give you 30 pieces of silver?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next weapon caster wields inflicts equal damage on foe and her. Oof, all right.
Good thing you don't wield weapons.
Yeah, should be interesting. Don't use a staff ever again.
Don't use anything ever.
Yeah, don't use any weapon ever again.
Use a dagger or an improvised weapon.
True. Just nothing that does actual damage, particularly when you're low health. So,
Somebody.
all right. So, Meepo like looks at you, Ivaris, and says, "Regardless, I thank you for your honesty." And he starts walking away from you.
You deserve to know, Meepo. I'm sorry.
And he says,
Yeah, this person we just met.
And he says, as payment to you, kind Ivaris, I'll let you leave here with your life. And he starts walking back toward the kobolds.
Just Ivaris.
I gotta go back.
All right. He walks back through through the way that you're going, Ivaris, and walks and is like walking back to the queen. Not that way. He walks the long way around. These kobolds let you pass though if you want to pass through them.
Backstab him.
He's like down. I'll ping. Hold on. He's like down here, so he's going this way, and Ivaris is going north.
It's true, Ivaris is used to backstabbing by now.
Okay, so Ivaris, You pass through the kobolds, no issue. They let you pass. I don't really think they have an issue with you right now. And so what is the group going to do? Ivaris comes back to the group.
I can
I'll look
command.
Pinrap dead in the eyes and say he knows.
Who knows what?
Out of character, Pinrap, you were the one who murdered Meepo.
I'm keeping the charade up. It never happened. Alright. I'm still up for going to the goblin there. You should get your goblin boyfriend to help.
Forrest, did you get him to let us go?
I don't know. That's up to Meepo.
Wait,
We should probably just leave.
did you guys
let's
hear
just
me
do
what I
that.
just said? Or did I cut out? Cause like I think my internet put to bed for a second.
What did you say?
I was talking about the goblins over here.
What did you say we should
He should
get there? Oh.
He should go talk to the king and see if he can come like do a raid.
We should find the dragon. Let's just go.
Or run.
All right, so this is like a fairly pivotal decision that you guys are going to run, or whether you're going to try to go find the dragon. So what we're going to do is we'll end here, and you guys we can talk about it a bit, like in RP chat. You can make your decision or what have you, and talk it over. In the meantime, what I said at the beginning of the session holds. So when eventually you all get out of the Sunless Citadel, assuming that you want to turn your quest in to Lady Hercule, then what will happen next is that, just generally, is that you will be offered an additional quest by the mayor to do something. That something will require a boat trip. The boat will come to town in approximately 30 days, which gives you, the party time to do things. So what I want over the next like 3 weeks is for you to come up with a little story about a background about what your individual character does over those roughly 30 days. There, you can work together to do things if you want. If you want to converse and say, "Oh, Pinrap and I talked, and we want to do this for about a week," or something along those lines, that's totally fine. That's cool. That might be helpful if you help each other to do. You might get obviously advantage on whatever roles you're doing if you're trying to get proficiency in something, or if you're trying to craft something, or if you're trying to change some aspect about your character. Getting help would obviously be an advantage to you, but again, that'll take sort of joint time. So we can chat about this. This can be sort of a working thing as to how much you can do and what you can do over that time period. But please be thinking about that over the break. And when we come back, we can pick up where you are now and see what the party wants to do.
I'm gonna need to eat some carrots. Get my eyesight up.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, good session, guys, and I will catch you in a few weeks. I forget
Wait,
what
hang on.
Sure.
Is this technically a long?
No, this is not a long rest.
We just did a long rest.
Yeah, no, but I'm at 6 HP. I don't.
Oh,
I told you should have raged.
And
I
no,
wanna
you're not.
rage.
You don't get to rest amongst like an angry group of kobolds. No, sorry.
What if I go hide in another room?
Yeah, maybe next session you can go hide in another room and rest if you'd like, but that's not going to happen this session.
I'm
I
gonna
thought you
hide in this
picked up
room.
2 healing potions.
I'm gonna hide right here. That's where I'm hiding.
All right, great. So Ulfgar disappears into the darkness, and that room is actually just the pit of despair. So you just
It was gonna happen anyway.
okay. All right. Anyway, I will post when the next session is on the DM board in the Discord, and I will see you all in a few weeks.
Yeah, man, have fun.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers. See ya.
Konnichiwa.
Bye.